All right, everybody, and welcome to another very, very special episode of Fourever Rivals. I am the Scotty Tompkins. Welcome back, Scotty. Had a week off, fellas. I missed you all. Love you all. It's been a massive week in my life, I've got to admit, but nothing is more important to me than Fourever Rivals on a Wednesday night. Liam, Manny, how are we? Manny, please, we need you first. How's your week been, mate?
Good evening. Well, you know what? Could this be the demise of the pies? It's that Roco. He gave that Italian whatever they call it, whatever they call it. But let me tell you, not happy at the moment. Could this be a test of times? Is McRae playing mind games? I'm not sure, but stay tuned for a very, very, very entertaining show. And Liam, you look happy as a one-legged lezo on a pogo stick, mate. Hey, the Tigers, they're looking good, aren't they?
Mate, I've got no idea what that means, but I think it's a compliment. I don't know.
I'll take it.
Nah, look, obviously, look, it's been a frustrating day. We're on the phone tonight. The laptop's gone. It's getting fixed, which is a pain in the butt. But, yeah, of course I'm happy, mate. We've won, not one, but 2 games in a row. And we're going to win our third against Collingwood on Sunday. Stay tuned.
Oh, I love it, Liam. Liam, back to back. How many years has it been?
Our first time since 2023.
All right, hasn't been too bad. Now,
Not too bad.
Before we move on with things, I just want to say hello to the best chat in YouTube, the Jumper Punch chat. We got all our favorites here. We've got Carlton, Blazing Blues, Chris, Mast, Lou Felino, this bloke here taking over TJP. It is the legendary Boek. Everybody salute. We've got Peter V, our favorite. Jai S, Mr. Galicchio, only Carlton. Please, everybody, check out his content on socials. It's amazing. Mr. Simos, glad to have you back, mate. Blue Bagger. Who else have we got here? Al R, my personal favorite. Much love for Al R in the chat. Who else? Oh. All right, guys. Shadju, I would like to introduce everybody to Shadju. Please don't judge them. They're a Geelong supporter. So we're going to try and speak a little slower tonight, but don't worry, they can keep up with the best of us. And I don't know if I've probably seen this name before, but just in case, Mr. Nick Kapsalis. I don't know, is that Greek? I don't know.
Greek, mate. That's Greek. Yeah.
But please, if anybody is joining us for the first time or you're a long-time watcher, first-time chatter, please say hello in the chat. We love all of you. We want to bring you into the show. You're what keeps this great show running. And please like and subscribe. All that great business. And just last bit of housekeeping, please, we are brought to you by the Sporting Globe Northland. The Jumper Punch would not exist without the Sporting Globe Northland. We love the Sporting Globe Northland. We have our TJP catch up there, in 2 weeks against Freo. I can't wait to see everyone there. I think it's a Sunday afternoon. Should be a good one. Actually, it'll be our last one for the year. I don't know. I was looking forward to maybe an interstate final there, but I'm not sure if the Sporting Globe Northland would be prepared for that. But we want to get as many people there as possible. Please give your expression of interest down in the description. And we also have, please, this one's amazing. We have now, everyone's sitting down. We have the TJP live show coming up. And to promote it, we have a special video. Please hang tight.
Gee.
Doesn't that get you up and about? Please, trybooking.com link is in the description. Tickets are selling fast for our final live show of the year. It's one of the best nights of the footy calendar, and we all look forward to seeing as many people there as possible. And we might have another very special announcement, another guest possibly. We're just waiting for the ink to dry on that one, but prepare for maybe another massive announcement for our TJP live event at Howler in Brunswick, former home of the Black Eyed Peas and soon to be the Jumper Punch. Shit, I need a week off every other week just to recover from the intro.
Take a breath, mate. Take a deep breath.
Hey, you've done a lot already, mate. We're just getting started.
I'm trying to get two weeks of shit in at once. Now, before we get onto the agenda, we would like to share a few words about our favorite son, Mark. Don't worry, guys, he's all sweet, but I would like to bring in somebody just to explain what's going on with our the bloke who brings the banter, our favorite Essendon supporter, Marcos. Roco.
How are you guys? And welcome to another episode of Fourever Rivals. All right, guys. I will be back a bit later, but I just thought I wanted to come on and share a couple of words to our favorite Essendon supporter, and that's Marco. Everyone loves Marco. Unfortunately, Marco lost his sister last week. Her name was Connie, and she was just 53, married with 2 beautiful kids. So Mark is having, just a bit of time off, as you can expect he should. I just wanted to come on and say, with all our heart, we love you, Marco, all the banter and that, but Fourever Rival family is one big family, and we love you, bro. I know he actually wrote me a message to say that he's dying to come back, and he will come back. He needs this, but he just needs a couple of days off. So it is sad. As I said, again, her name was Connie. She was 53. She had 2 beautiful kids, married. So condolences to Mark, his family. Also, I know the brother, all of them. Well, I don't know what else to say, but I thought I just want to come on, and I know he's watching and saying, Mark, we love you, brother. Anything you need, you ask the family, and we'll be there for you. And just anything you guys want to say before we move on with the show.
You know that we all love you, Mark, and there's always 100 sickos in the chat every week waiting to hear from you. So all love and condolences to you, Mark, and we can't wait for your return whenever you're ready, because the show's just not the same without you. So all thoughts and love for you and your family.
Yeah. Well said there, Scotty. It's always hard when you lose a loved one, and our thoughts and prayers are with you and your family, Marco. And I know you're going through some tough times, but as Roco mentioned, that there's a lot of care and love that we have for you, and we're only a phone call away, mate, and we are thinking of you. And stay strong. That's the thing. That's the least you can do, is to try and keep strong for the rest of the family. And we look forward to seeing you come back bigger and stronger, matey. But look after yourself and look after the family.
Yeah, that's all it is. Yeah, I think you guys have said it all. We love you, mate. We hope that everything's going all right for you and your family. I'm sure it must be a very tough time, but the Rivals are here. We've got your back. We're here for anything that you need. Just give us a shout. We'll be there. Thinking of you, mate. Hope you're doing all right. And can't wait to have you back here on the show.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's great words for him. I can see all the comments coming through. So I hope that gives Mark a little bit of joy tonight. You know what I mean? That's all it is. Everyone's lost a loved one, and you just need those moments where you can just forget about it for a second. It never be forgotten. But I said to him today that there's not much I can say. There's not much I can say because there's nothing you can say that's gonna fix your pain at the moment. great family, and he'll get through it, you know. So all the best, Smart Goal. We love you. You'll be back. Unfortunately, Essendon won't, but you will be back. The banter does not stop. He was a bit of a smart ass too to me today, even when he wrote me a message. So still the banter's with him. So he's a good man. Hey, listen, this is going to be a great show. Scotty's going to take hold of the reins, and I'll be back a bit later. We're going to get another special guest on to talk about all the AFL. I'll be back later for sure, so hold on. And don't worry, Manny, I've got a few things to say to you a bit later on, but I'm just going to save it because Collingwood's on the slide just quietly, and I told you this 2 weeks ago. But anyway, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. Well done. Well done. All right, we'll be back. Don't worry. So thank you very much. And one more thing before I go, shut the fuck up while I talk, you dick. Right? Listen. Right? Make sure you get those tickets to the live show. It is on the 30th. It's big, man. Tickets are selling fast this time. We've got the two great guests, and I'm almost 99% sure the next guest is going to blow everyone's mind, man. So I'm just working on it. So it's going to be huge. So the link's there. Let's get down there, get those tickets. Thanks, guys. And I'm going to see you a bit later. Go Blues.
Go Blues.
Get him off, mate.
Go Roco.
Get him off, mate. That was 4 minutes of too much. I was enjoying myself there.
He has to make an appearance. You know the rules. He's the boss. Now,
no. You're the boss. He's just a guest.
I'm the boss. Am I? Does that mean
you're the host? He's just.
That means I can do this. Now, Liam, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be. Or it almost seems the last few weeks it wouldn't be the jumper punch if it wasn't for an appearance from the MVP, TJP's new favorite rising star, Mr. Boek himself. Thank you for joining Fourever Rivals, mate. How are you?
Dude, you pump my tires more every week.
What?
Bro, I haven't got much left in me. You know how drained I am from going to work, man. I'm a man of leisure. I'm an aristocrat of the soul, and putting in a 38-hour week these days, I'm surprised that I'm still able to stand. But
well, you're gonna take some annual leave soon, aren't you?
Yeah, I did inquire about. I'm on 6 months of probation. I did inquire what's the go with annual leave. I need a holiday, man. I got to be honest. It's been a big week. It's been a big week, bro. I've started a new job. I've had problems with the law. Any Collingwood supporters in the chat want to help me with that? I won't get into the specifics, but I know you guys are more than qualified to help me out there. I went to Chadstone on Sunday, bro. That'll get me in more legal trouble if I start talking about that. But it's always a pleasure to have you, Bo.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. How is everyone? Liam, Manny?
Yeah, good, Bo. Good.
Good to see you.
We're rocking, mate. We're rocking.
Beautiful.
And it's good to see that there's 4 blokes on the show with a full set of hair. You know,
wait. We got it. What's under the beanie, bro? What's under the beanie?
I'm good.
Oh, there you go.
Bravo.
I've got this skunk thing going on here. I don't like it. Fucking shit.
Yeah, I've got an issue when Roco comes on. It must be something he puts on his head and you get that reflection. It must put some kind of wax on there or some grease. I don't know what he does. Maybe a little bit of salami. He eats a salami, then he wipes on top of his head. I don't know.
Bro, he's gonna trash you when he gets on.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, get them all in while you can. While he's not here, man. Yeah, get it in.
That's it.
Yeah. Before we get into the agenda, as always, our favorite Peter V has provided us with the goods, and we have this week wrapped up. Jeez Louise. Manny, do you want to take us through a couple of these?
Well, wow. What can I tell you there, mate? It looks like GWS, like usual, have gone on a barbecue, have they? What have they done? They've totally demolished the Bombers. And, of course, you've got The Tigers, who would have thought? Hey, Jezza, you must be disappointed there, bud. Who would have thought the Tigers roasted the Weagles? They roasted. Anyway, and yeah, there's Liam. He's happy. He's happy as a cock in a cunt shop there. I can tell you that much, mate. And of course, there's Magpies. Magpies are pretty sad there, mate. The Freo, they got over the line, but hey, Pete, they love your work there, mate. You keep sending him every week, mate. Keep sending him every week.
Yeah.
And as Mark will be, he's stand. We're still contending. Yeah, well, yeah.
Mate.
I want to talk a little bit about that a little bit later about contending.
We're gonna have to rename Manny Metaphor Manny.
Metaphor Manny. Yeah. Definitely.
Oh,
Yeah. Actually, thank you for reminding me about Jezza. I hope the old fella's doing all right, and I hope he's tuned in. He's picked himself up back together after the weekend, Liam. He hasn't. Is he answering your phone calls or?
Yeah, I did call him. He went to the game with my sister, and I was down at the ground watching. And I was like, get on the phone. I want to see all these losing Eagle fans. So I was in the crowd, just yelling about at them, like, come on, how good are we? And they're like, shut up, dickhead. So, yeah, pretty much. But no, look, he's all right. He's all right. He won't be on tonight. He is giving blood tonight. I know that. But he might come back next week, hopefully.
Yeah, fantastic. He was really good. I was impressed with Jezza. So there's a few people on this panel that might start getting a bit worried because we've got plenty of talent in the waiting. And last thing I want to say about Jezza, that West Coast polo that he had on, because I always find going to Carlton games, you got every flavor of Southern European is walking around the G with the Carlton polo shirt on like they're an assistant coach and they act like it. But then Jezza has the West Coast polo on and he looked like the senior coach. I was ready to run laps for him.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. The way he's going, and from what I'm hearing about the coaches over there, he's definitely a shoo-in. He probably couldn't be worse than them. So
he's up with a chance. McQualter's from Traralgon, which is about 40 minutes from Warragul, and we don't trust those types around here. But anyway, fellas, what I keep saying before the agenda, I've just got one more thing because our rising star is here that I want to promote. Yeah. Bo, please tell us about the second most exciting night of the year, the build-up, the penultimate night before TJP Live. Tell us about it. Remix Mania, Bo. What are we in for, bro?
Yes. So this will be a little precursor to the TJP live show. So for any wrestling fans out there or anybody that wants to come and just party with the TJP crew and everybody with the community that's coming to this night as well, Friday, August 29th, Remix Mania. Basically, it is an event that's just wrestling themed at La Di Da in Melbourne, 577 Little Boek Street. It's wrestling tunes all night, wrestling themed drinks. I know Marzi asked what those are going to be. They are on the Instagram if anybody wants to check it. We got a whole bunch of sponsors and stuff giving us some collectibles and vouchers to give away. So it's just a space for wrestling fans to come and have a drink in. And obviously our community here from TJP is going to be there as well. So it's going to be a bit of fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, Bo. It looks fun. If anyone's driving from Warragul to Melbourne that night, I would very much appreciate a lift.
Oh, mate, I'm in the same boat. I never know how I'm getting to my own night. I have no idea.
We could start walking around the same time, meet up. Yeah. All right, fellas. Shall we get stuck into it?
Let's do it.
Now, what a week of footy it has been, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, not really quite a week, more like a 48 hours. But we've got a full schedule here of stories to cover, fellas. Starting with, rest in peace, Sam Doherty's retirement announcement. The announcement that shook the world, or at the very least the northern suburbs. One of our bravest warriors, Sam Doherty, has announced his retirement. think there's not too much that hasn't been said already, but Boek, what does the doc mean to you?
Oh, look, he's a club legend. I mean, at the end of the day, we can't look back. We can't look away from everything that he's had to go through to get back into the swing of things. Multiple surgeries, going through a whole bunch of medication and everything else, knee recos, all the rest of it. I mean, everybody knows what he's gone through. So, look, I think the game, like Roco said yesterday, the game was past him. And I think he knows that. I think he knows it's time for the new gen to come through and so on and so forth. So the only thing I was kind of weirded out by, well, not weirded out, I didn't understand the decision, but I thought maybe something had gone wrong with him, or he had another injury or something, to be choosing to do it this week when it's not a home game. That kind of wigged me out a bit, because I would have thought do it at a home game so we can give him like a proper send-off. But who's to know? The club might do it anyway at the next home game anyway.
Well, now you say that, Bo, they are planning our next home game is in 2 weeks against Gold Coast. So they will be doing, a more proper send-off for him then. But it also begs the question, like, they could have just put him on ice till then if they really wanted to. But
yeah, it would have been nice if they're planning, like what you said, if they're planning that, it would have been nice to see him run out and play the game as well.
Yeah, and one of the things that he did say is that he did want to finish things on his terms, which there's no need to read into that any more than it does. Considering his history, I think he deserves the right. Sure. But yeah, just a fantastic man, a warrior. Our biggest, really retirement, because really we've only had seriously like delistings since Mark Murphy and Simo. Like, he's the next one off the block, and I'd hate to think about who the next one is, but until Cripper, there's really nobody else that will lead in his stead.
I think he's the type of player. You all have players from other clubs that you hate that are in their big top 5 players or whatever, and so on and so forth. But I don't know anyone that could really hate on Doherty. Like, he's just one of those players that I think everybody kind of respects and loves.
So come on, man. You can't, like, if anybody says anything about Doherty, at the very least, you can be like, come on, bro. Like, you can't be picking on a guy who's been through this, who's been through that, who would be on a drip 18 to 20 hours and then go on a 15K run, being forced by his partner just to sit down. Like, the man's sick in the head.
No, he's done extremely well. He's obviously going to go straight into our Hall of Fame at some point, and he's been recognised across all aspects of the game, whether it be off field, on field, the works. I mean, accolades speak for themselves. He didn't get that flag, but it is what it is. He's done everything he possibly could have, and now we see him out the best way we possibly can tomorrow, and also when the club does its thing.
Yeah, outside of premiership, of course, and I guess a Brownlow. I mean, you got All Australian, Carlton Best and Fairest, and the Jim Steins Award. So he's covered pretty much all the things that he was most passionate about in his career. And but it also says, like, he went through all of that and still didn't get the ultimate glory. It was covered last night on the Jumper Punch, but at any point it can be taken away from you. And I hope those boys at Princes Park took note. And because, well, Cripper's going to be the next one off the list. And if he goes out like Doc, I mean, what have you boys been doing this whole time?
Yep. No, I agree. Look, I think, like I say, I've said everything I needed to say. Let's just hope that the boys tomorrow go out.
And just touching on that just briefly, as a Collingwood supporter, you've got to put football aside for a couple of minutes and just admire the fact that, it doesn't matter who it is when you're involved in the public eye, especially in sports, and to go through anything like that. I mean, there's a lot of players, that have gone through that, but it just goes to show you that, in Doherty's situation, he probably could have sat there, and he doesn't want people. This is the thing, is I don't want people to feel sorry for him, because he's not that kind of character. And as you said, Scotty, he wants to go on his own terms, and it clearly shows that he's a very proud person, and and he wants people to remember him for the game and for the footy that he played for the club, rather than focusing too much on the fact. But sure, that is something that people will never forget. But it just shows that being resilient and having that mental strength to carry through and do what he's done. And it's hats off to him, and I wish him all the best in his new lease of life, and all the best to him and his family.
Yeah.
Well said, Manny. Actually, I have a question for you, Liam, in regards to a certain Sam Doherty moment. Where were you round 1, 2022, in his big comeback game when he was awarded that 50-meter penalty and he was lining up for goal? Where were you during that moment, and how great did it feel?
Not great.
Come on, bro. The bloke's had 2 bouts of cancer, and you say he didn't feel great when he kicked that goal?
Nah, that's a bit rude. Look, as a fan, it was hard, but fair play. It's still a pretty special moment, isn't it? I think, like you guys have said, he's got no haters, really, has he? Like, for everything that he's gone through, like Manny said, it's in the public eye, which makes it that much harder as well. I've got massive respect for him, and as a footballer as well, super talented guy, real great kick of the ball, racked up heaps of possessions on that back line for you, real leader for you out there, regular in my fantasy team for years as well. So, sad to see him go.
Yeah, and not to say that he necessarily withered on the vine, but yeah, as Boek said as well, the game's kind of gone past him a bit, and to come back from 3 ACLs and everything else, it's a tough order to fulfill. He tried his absolute best. A lot of people saying maybe he should have spent this year and maybe next year or however long that he wanted in the reserves and kind of being the captain there and leading and developing players that way, because he is a great leader on the field. He was co-captain at one point. Like, he's obviously got the stuff, but yeah, I've got no issues with Sam Doherty. I don't think anyone does. And if you do, you got rocks in your head, bro.
Is that what next for him then? Do you think he'll go into coaching or something now?
Well, that's what everybody assumed, because I think earlier in his career, that's what people, that's what he kind of alluded to or said. But there was actually a Carlton Summer Sessions podcast over this last preseason where he had an interview and he was asked the question, are you thinking about going into coaching? And he actually said no. He's kind of, especially over the last year, he kind of came to the realization that there's more to life than footy. He's had 2 young kids in that time. He has a bit of a cush side gig in the media at the moment, so maybe he's realized that's a bit more comfortable given his position in life than going out there and potentially getting killed on the field every week. But everybody would have loved him if he went down that path. But yeah, it's his own destiny. He can write it himself.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your service, Doherty. And I think everyone will have a little lump in their throat tomorrow. And then 2 weeks later. And then who knows at the end of the year. And then at the best and fairest. I'm sure this won't be the last we'll see of Sam Doherty. Now, onwards and upwards. Fellas, I don't know if you've got this feeling, but I think silly season has started early this year with all the trade talk and contract talks. It started a bit early. And of course, we're the biggest rage baiters in the AFL, the Carlton Football Club. Kicking off on Monday morning or Monday night, we had this news that Manny's devilish Magpies have approached Jack Silvani with a potential contract. Manny, has this come across your desk? Jack Silvani to Collingwood? Would you like to see it? How much would you give him?
Oh, look, at the moment, is he 100% fit? Because I know that he was carrying a bit of an injury a few weeks back. So
he's currently injured with a groin. He's just come off an ACL.
Okay, so you've got to put that into consideration. When the farmer used to buy a horse, you could sit there and say how good looking this horse is, but the first thing they would do is they open the horse's mouth and check its teeth, and if it had good healthy teeth, they knew it was a good, healthy horse. So I think
Manny, this is no horse. This is no donkey. This is a prize stallion of the Carlton
he's a 27-year-old. He's a 27-year-old. He's he potentially. I think he probably had the capabilities of being better than his father. But
big call.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I grew up watching his father play against Collingwood every season, and he used to dominate. So, but look, you know what? What would it take? Would it take maybe a first-round pick, maybe a couple of first-round picks? I don't know. Are we talking about?
I'd take a few first-rounders for Jack Silvani. Like,
you know what I mean? Are we talking about
the history? I'll take a couple of first-rounders.
How many? What would he have? Would he have at least 3 years? Another 3 years potentially. So 3 years. Would we be talking about what?
Mate, at 27 at Collingwood, he could have another 8 to 10.
Well, the way, I suppose, it's all about getting these players to match fitness. I don't know. It's do we need someone like Jack in the back? Maybe we do. I don't know. It's obviously there's obviously someone who's eyeing him off, and if Jack wants to come to Collingwood, and maybe have a little bit of taste of finals football, who am I to take that away from him? You know what I mean? Potentially can win the premiership. Who am I to take that away from him? You know what I mean? It's, these days, we talk about 25 years ago, loyalty was such a big thing. It was unheard of, for a player to move to another club. But, you know what I mean? I heard a lot of people say to me today, oh, he's not going to leave. He's not going to go to Collingwood. He's going to, his family, the history behind Carlton. At the end of the day, you know what history is? How am I going to prepare my future? And if that means I get more money somewhere and have a taste of I don't know, whatever it is, because at the moment, let's be fair, Carlton, the only thing they're going to be celebrating this year is 30 years.
All right, Manny. Thank you. Now, Liam, has loyalty died in the AFL, or is this just responsible contract negotiations between a player and his current club?
Look, Manny does make a pretty good point on loyalty. It's definitely something. However, you have to look at what's best for the player. Clearly, something's not working for Jack out at Carlton, and maybe it works best for both parties if he does move on. Obviously, for you guys, I'm assuming it would be pretty hard to see a Silvani running around for Collingwood. I could not imagine that's good. So, yeah, as far as loyalty is dead, I think it depends where the players want to go. I think the problem nowadays, again, as Manny said, 20, 25 years ago, you didn't really see this happen. I think the problem now is the players actually have too much power, and they're not necessarily as loyal to the club. They're thinking more, well, if it makes more sense, if I'm going to get more of this to go play somewhere else, or if I've got the opportunity to move to a club where I can get a premiership, it's a lot easier. I think that's what we're seeing, particularly the last 5 years, is that the players have too much power. So, I think there is a little bit of a problem with loyalty. And I'm not saying it's all players, but there's definitely some where you can say that's true.
You do make a great point there, Liam, especially like if you consider Dan Houston over the last year. He had a contract to fulfill, and he just said, no, I'm going. I don't care where. I'm just going. And like, obviously he wanted to come to Carlton, to his best mate, Jack's favorite team. But when we turned him down, he just ended up going to the highest bidder.
Wow.
Could it be that his mate now is negotiating and saying, hey, you know what? Maybe it'd be a good thing for you to come over to the Pies.
Well, are we considering club loyalty? Is it all about the money, Manny, or are we just there to go play with our friends?
If you want to talk about loyalty, if I'm not mistaken, his father is his father still with the Saints?
Yep. He's blowing that place up perfectly.
Okay, and from my understanding, there seems to be some underlying issues that he's had over the last few years with the Carlton Football Club, if I'm not mistaken.
Considering that we sacked him and all his mates for completely blowing up our club before moving on to Saints, I can understand why he might feel a bit bitter. But
so therefore, when you say loyalty, Where's loyalty these days? At the end of the day, let's be frank. How long are they going to be footy players for? Maybe for another 5-6 years. If they're lucky enough, and they might, get a job in the media, or they might be good enough to get a job with some club, as a trainer or as a coach, and they still stick with that. But at the end of the day, they got to look at their future. And for some of them, that's all they know. They know how to play the game, and after the game, that's it. What's life after that? You find out a lot of them end up getting a late education, trying to get into some other industry, to get on with life. But loyalty, I think these days is out the door, especially when it comes to this.
Now,
Boek,
check.
Two Richmond players and
Sorry, Liam. Yep.
So one disloyal, Shai Bolton last year, and this is where I talk about player power. He had 4 years left on his contract with us at around $1 million a season. He decided he wanted out, and he was saying, "Yep, I'm going to Fremantle." And the club's kind of like, "Well, we'll see what we can do, but we own your contract, and if we can't get a good enough deal for you, you're staying." Which I really liked. I like that stance that we had. And if West Coast had turned around and given us a better offer, maybe he ends up there. I don't know, but as far as a disloyal player, as soon as we started struggling, he was looking for the door. He was like, "Nah, we're struggling. I want to go back home. I want to go to Fremantle because I think they're probably closer to a flag than Richmond is." Loyal player example, Nathan Broad. As I said, obviously, clearly struggling. We were, not playing our best footy. He committed. He came out. He said, "No, I want to stay. I'm finishing my career at Richmond. I know times are tough now, but I want to be here to help rebuild the club." That's a loyal player. So I guess it just shows there's two cases there. Some players, they're not. Some, they are. So, yeah, in Jack's case, Jack Silvani, I'm not too sure. Obviously, time will tell with what his decision is and where he ends up playing his football next year. But, yeah, there is cases where loyalty still exists. But I think the problem is, particularly with the Shai Bolton one, is player power. There's too much of it.
Very true, Liam. Now, Boek, as one of the resident blueheads in the on the show, should we be giving any oxygen to stories like this? I mean, we know that these types of things happen on all day, all year. It's really just because somebody was having a slow day. I think it was on Footy Classified, and feared, here we go. We can get some numbers here. Let's ruffle some few feathers in the northern suburbs.
I personally think there's more merit to the Kernahan one over the Silvani one. But I will say two things. In terms of how he would fit in at Collingwood, and I know Manny said, I don't know if he'd fit in or if we need him or whatever, right? This is the way I see it. He goes to Collingwood. That frees up Darcy Moore to be more of a roaming defender and go and be an intercept defender, right? And then you've got some experience down the back there in Silvani, all right? That's how I see him being in their lineup. Okay, that's how he fits in.
He's had about 9 games down back.
Yeah, but I mean, anyone can see that he's for me, and I think anyone else can see that he's at home back there, and he's done very, very well.
We all know Darcy Moore's shit. We just need to free him up to keep him away from having any responsibility down there. But
so that's how I think he fits in. In terms of the story itself, I think it's all horseshit. I think this is the media just wanting clicks. Okay, there's nothing that I can look at for Silvani other than maybe he might want to pursue success elsewhere because he thinks he's not going to win a flag at Carlton or whatever, right? But for me, I think it's all bait, right? I haven't yet seen any concrete evidence that this is going ahead or that they're interested or anything, right? And this happens all the time. Right. But I'm a very big believer of I'll believe it when I see it or when I have concrete evidence, and I don't see any of it. Right. However, on the flip side, I don't know if you want to talk. Do you want to talk about the Kernahan one as well? If I can make an example.
Well, I was just about to jump into that, but just to tie up the whole Jack thing. Look, he's a free agent. He's looking at 4 years from us, allegedly 5 years at the Pies. If you want to be objective, he's just been a bang average footballer that's never really had a defined role over his career. We're always happy to have a Silvani at Carlton, but to be honest, a sick part of me does want to see him go to Collingwood just to see heads explode. But that's just me.
I personally think, right, I want him to stay. I think he's a great player, and I think he potentially in the future could either captain or vice captain the team, right, for a long period of time. Now, if he goes, and look, this is just my take, I personally think that could be a really dangerous thing. I personally think, and when I say dangerous, I mean there may be some fans that flip out a bit. Right, that's personally what I think. I think that could be, that's like Messi going from Barcelona to Real Madrid sort of shit. You know what I mean? So, but at the same time, if I can just say something on that loyalty thing, I gave up on loyalty with players many years ago, right? And my point of view is that this is their job, right? They're not expected to be loyal, right? Nobody signs an AFL contract with the proviso that this will be your club till the day you stop playing and all the rest of it. That's not how it works. And fans can't look at it that way either, right? We want them to be loyal, and we want them to become cult figures and legends of the club and so on and so forth. But we also must understand that whilst they may love the club while they're there, they can always jog on and go somewhere else and get their money elsewhere. And no one's going to tell me that if you're working an office job down the road for 100K and another company gives you the same job but 200K, if you're not going to go, you got something wrong with you, right? So that's how simple I see it. But at the end of the day, I want him to stay. If he goes to Collingwood, I think it's going to cause an absolute fucking riot. And that's that. But if we go into the Kerno thing, at least that has more merit and more somewhat justification behind it, even though I still think that is a whole heap of bullshit as well. Even though
if we want to talk the ultimate clickbait, if Jack Silvani going to Collingwood wasn't enough, the following day they've hit us with Charlie Kerno allegedly wants to go to Gold Coast for a
Sorry to interrupt.
Yep.
We have some news on Stephen May.
Oh, can we just hold that because we're covering that next, please? Thank you very much.
I guess the chat's going to go off anyway, but yep, go on. Keep going, Scotty.
Yep. It's Charlie Kerno to Gold Coast. What? He wants out of Carlton. No, not necessarily. We just want a change of scenery out of the footy bubble. Maybe, but not. And then once everybody kind of like processed that, straight away they're back onto us. They're throwing out the bait left, right, and center. We got Sydney and, of course, the villains of the AFL, the Geelong Football Club. And to join us, we just quickly have a very special guest from that dark, dark side of Victoria. We have a fella by the name of Paul. I think he likes Geelong.
Hey, guys.
And
I get around him.
He had something to say about Charlie Kerno coming to Geelong. Now, mate, you've robbed everyone else blind. We know that shithole club that you support is going to be dissolved in 24 months after my investigation concludes. The audit, all the cases at the Geelong Magistrates Court. Mate,
yeah, we don't talk about that one on our content, not until it's done.
Well, if you start to piss us off, we'll bring up TB. But anyway, what's going on here? Is this stuff about Kerno to Geelong got any merit to us, or are you just all doing what Geelong does and just troll everybody in the AFL?
I mean, I guess when it comes to Charlie, and regardless of whether we're talking about Geelong, Sydney, or Gold Coast as the three clubs that have been linked to him so far, I mean, has there been anything that's come from Charlie's mouth yet? Like, there hasn't been any, and I think, I kind of tuned in only part of the way, but I heard someone saying, I'll believe it when I actually hear it when there's something concrete. And to this point, I haven't heard any real substance to it at all, regardless of which club we're talking about. So I don't necessarily buy it. But I also, as much as, and so I guess only 5 minutes ago, I finished recording a video for our channel, Scotty. You knew this was going to be happening. You expected me to start.
No. You can get a plug if you behave. All right.
No. So I am actually behaving here. So I'm not of the mind that he's going to move.
Yeah, nah.
There's no way. And it's not even like, maybe the reports that he wants to leave are 100% legitimate, but I just don't see how any club really, when he's got his contract, was at the end of 2029, 28?
2029.
Like, I don't see how a club could, when he's at the peak of his powers or very close to it at the moment, I don't see how any of these clubs that are linked to him could transact. You've got to give away someone who's probably equal standing, not necessarily a forward, but kind of equal standing, top 20 players, and maybe I'm underrating him by saying top 20, but somewhere in that sort of ballpark, you're probably going to have to toss picks on it as well, because Carlton's got the whip hand as the team who currently, quote unquote, owns him, or pays for his services. Like it's a pretty hard ask for any club, let alone the Cats, who don't have this huge number of first round picks. Forget the finances part of it. For any of the clubs, like I'm sure any club who wants him will make it work, but the picks part of it, I just don't see how any team could get it done. Picks, players, combination of both. It's a really tough
we'll
task.
know if Charlie was to go anywhere, especially the Geelong Football Club. I don't give a fuck about picks at that point. I want players, bro. I want players.
Oh yeah, no. So I figure it would have to be a combination.
Boek, who would you like from Geelong if Charlie was to go down that shithole?
Can I say a couple of things about it first?
Yeah, no stress.
So, first and foremost, the Gold Coast, and I said it today in a video, right? It makes sense if he goes to the Gold Coast. That's the lifestyle change that he wants. He's a surfer. He loves that life.
Smoke bongs and hang 10. It's the ultimate dream for him.
Yeah, and Gold Coast are a team. I wouldn't say destination club at the moment, right? But Gold Coast is a very attractive team for somebody like him. Okay. And it makes sense. The story, if you want to put it out there, even if it is bait, does make sense. Now, Sydney and Geelong make zero sense to me. Now, I know it can be argued that Geelong's down on the, another coast and so on and so forth, and he'll get the same life down there, but he wants to, if everything is true, he wants to escape the footy bubble. And I don't think that's far enough away, right? But in any case, hypothetically speaking, which I think it's all bullshit, but
agreed.
If he goes to Geelong, who would I take?
Give me Piss Boy. Give me Max Holmes minimum.
I mean, you're not going to get Max Holmes. I would. Look, I'll chuck Max Holmes out there, but realistically speaking, it's so hard for me in my brain, man. My brain doesn't operate this way. My brain operates like I can't even.
How about a fair trade? How about you swap up?
It's just not.
They'll give you Cameron. They'll give you Cameron, and you can take Kernahan.
How's that a fair trade?
That's never going to. I can't.
I mean, you could be
even if you claimed it was fair, it's kind of a useless trade for both teams, I suppose.
Well, it defeats the purpose.
I mean, maybe Geelong wins because Charlie's got a few more years up the sleeve, but that's about it, really.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Who I would take? Dempsey.
Oh, absolutely. Any day of the week.
If you want me to give you a name, I'll take
them for a second. Just as
Ollie Dempsey, please, on a platter. We got plenty of churches in the northern suburbs, bro. He can have his pick. And, Gadge can come as well to hold his hand if he needs to.
That was a dagger through the heart there.
But no, I mean, if you want to know the inside baseball, if you want to know the inside baseball, a lot of this stuff around Charlie being dissatisfied with the club comes from his family and his management. His family in particular was very upset with the way that he was managed in the preseason and being forced to come back early in round 2. Everybody could see in that Hawks game he was not ready at all. He had three surgeries, I think 2 ankles, 1 knee in the off season, and then maybe Charlie might have not personal issues, but doesn't exactly see eye to eye with Voss. Who's more likely to be at the Carlton Football Club in 2026, Charlie Kernahan or Michael Voss?
Yeah, I'd be saying Charlie's the most likely one to stay there easily.
Yeah, that brings us back to what Liam was saying before. Like, can a player have that much power? If it was up to, I'm going to one of your biggest competitors, or the coach has to go. I mean, when you have a marquee player like Charlie Kernahan, it answers itself.
Well, also without wanting to, sink the knife in too much, also the club is just not firing on all cylinders at the moment. So you go, well, are we going to potentially make ourselves worse by getting rid of this gun player, or do we get rid of the coach and
but the club's never fired at all cylinders in his whole career.
You know what I mean. I'm trying to be a little bit diplomatic.
Yes, you will be. You will be.
I'm not Lucas, mate. He's probably watching.
I haven't invited him this week. We can only have so many Geelong heads on Fourever Rivals. But Paul, thank you very much for joining us. We love the Hoops Crew insight. Please, everybody, check out Hoops Crew. They're all right. And if you ever see the Pivotonian, Paul, tell him I'm coming for him. I'm calling him out.
I've never met the Pivotonian. We are having like a community meet and greet next weekend before the Port Adelaide game. Maybe that'll be the day. And if that's the case, I'll make sure to slip a little note on your behalf that says you're coming for him.
I'll be there. Tell him to watch his back. Paul, thank you very much.
No worries, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Cheers, mate.
See you, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks being a Carlton supporter, bro. You literally cannot relax for 24 hours because someone's always up your backside about something.
But Scotty, you have to also look at the fact that now, given the state of the club, the state of the team, we are an absolute target for any media source right now for clickbait, for actual stories coming out of the club. There's a lot going on. So we are just, and Marzi said it last night, actually, that it could be that way for the next 6 months. So
yes. You know what? I love it. I love it, to be honest.
But is it fair also to say that at the moment, as you said, that, you know, Carlton has been struggling over the last 4 or 5 years now, right? Now, is it fair to say that you're going to get clubs that are going to sit there and, you know, want Carlton to dangle the carrot? Because potentially if you end up getting some club that says to you, you know what, we'll take Kernahan and we're going to offer you something that's going to be more financially beneficial for you in the long run in terms of picking up, you know, trading and picking up players and having those first picks, et cetera, that, you know, it may all of a sudden mean that you may have a better outcome in 2-3 years' time as to what you have right now with what you're dealing with, and what outcome will you have in 2-3 years' time. So, you know, potentially you've got to look at that. It's, you know, this willing and dealing, you know, we're talking about it, you know, he's talking about lifestyle, but I reckon that might be something more behind it.
I mean, he's a dual back-to-back Coleman medalist who would have had a three-peat if not for getting injured. And even when he was playing below average last year, he was easily leading the Coleman. I mean, obviously, you would be upset if your particular club or anyone's particular club that they follow didn't ask the question and he was available. But it's a bit like what Paul said. It's kind of impossible because nobody really has the capital for, you know, you could a potentially generational player like that. And like from our end, Carlton, as I said, a sick part of me would like to see him go just to see what the reaction would be like and how the club would adjust. But it's just one of those things, like it's pie in the sky nonsense, really, at the end of the day. But what's a bit more concrete, fellas? Fuck all this trade talk. Let's talk contracts. And this is something that it might not happen now, it might not happen next year, but will definitely happen in the next few years. And that is the big Harley Reed contract. Everybody's licking their lips at this number one pick from 23 or the end of 22, 23, end of 23. Yeah, end of 23. Liam, you're across this. What can you tell us about the contract situation with Reed?
It's diabolical, to be honest, man. It's like, I've even seen that he's potentially getting like a 10-year contract.
I've seen, from what I've seen, it's
potentially 20 mil across 10 years.
From what I've seen, it's 2 years with a player activated option of an extra 9, taking it to 11. He can elect to extend it by 9 years.
Has that ever happened? That is not normal. There's no way that can happen. No. We've already spoken before about like these super long contracts now. They're not all they're cracked up to be, and they're dangerous. You're gonna pay someone for potentially 11 years all up, 11 years. But just the other stuff that I've seen about it, like some of his demands, if he is getting moved, he's like, and this is back to player power again, just to say it, but like, doesn't want to go to a struggling club, like at least that 1.5 mil a year. He wants a big contract like this.
When it came out that his family allegedly said they don't want him at a struggling club and they were listing like St Kilda, North Melbourne, whatever, I love how Essendon put their hand up and said, oh yeah, by the way, we're not interested in him. No, we're not doing it. And it's like, relax, bro, you're on the list anyway. Like,
yeah, but like, I mean, if West Coast sign his contract and choose to keep him, or if he chooses to stay, we don't know. Like it's the same thing. He can't be like, oh, I don't want to go to Essendon. They suck. It's kind of like, well, Essendon are going to give us what they want. I think Essendon have 2 top 5 picks at the minute, so if they were to come along with that, and West Coast was like, is that better than keeping this guy? You don't know. It's not necessarily his choice, but no, to think that he is potentially going to get a contract for that length of time and for that amount of money as well, for me, diabolical stuff. I don't think it's right. I want to know what you guys think.
Yeah, these multi-million per year contracts make me sick, honestly. And if you're a West Coast supporter, you've been through so much, and then to hear a single player taking up what is it, like almost 12% of your entire salary cap, and holding everybody over a barrel, because I know, like, West Coast supporters, they love him, they want him to stay, of course, because he's the only bit of hope they possibly have. And they see this as, oh, I see, he's negotiating. He does want to stay, but just on the right terms. I see it as him, or maybe not him, but his management setting such a high bar for him to stay, so just so they can turn around and say, look, we had a deal on the table and you guys wouldn't take it, so we're packing up and moving back to Victoria. What do you think about that, Bo?
Yeah, I'm going to go against the grain here. When there's a squiggly line going that way, I'm going that way. So it's just the way I am. I couldn't give a crap what players get paid, honestly. Like, it never crosses my mind. Like, I know a lot of people say, nah, he's not worth that. You know, how can a player sign such a long contract? It's bad for the game. It's bad for this. All I want to see, for starters, I don't want to see Harley Reed at Carlton. We don't need him, right? No, if anyone was going to ask the question, because I've seen it pop up in the past couple of days, and no, we don't need him. But for me, I just don't care. Like, if this is Carlton, I just say spend whatever freaking money you want, as long as you're all good and you're in the green, right? Which Carlton most of the time is. Just win a damn premiership. I don't care what you're paying the players, bro. Like, I know it has an effect on their mental if they're making that much money and so on and so forth, right? I can understand that there's a lot of different pathways that the conversation can go down. But personally, I just don't care. Pay him whatever. And especially, like, my thoughts on other clubs, man. Like, if they're going to pay him that money, good, go do it. What do I care? You're West Coast, mate. Yeah. I don't care about West Coast. So I keep it very simple, bro. You know what I mean?
Even if they do give him like a multi-million-dollar contract just over the 2 or 3 years, he's going anywhere else. He's expecting that minimum. Yeah, if he comes back and
if he gets it,
whoever from Victoria takes him on that amount of money, I just see it as a competitive advantage for us. Really?
Do you know?
I mean, I just don't think we need him.
Yeah. Well, Manny, would you take Harley Reed off of West Coast to the tune of $2 million per year?
No. I wouldn't take him. I think. Look, to be honest with you, I've been watching. I've been following him, and I know a lot of people have been talking about the fact that, you know, he's an up and coming superstar, etc., etc. At the moment, I've actually not seen anything that would give me that notion that, you know, he's sure. He looks like he's got the talent, and he's probably going to end up, you know, developing into a great footballer. But at the moment, I think he's coming across very cocky, very arrogant. You know, in the tune of he wants X amount. To me, it's like, well, you know what? What have you provided at the moment? Because all I can tell you is, you got done the other week by the second shittest club in the league. You know what I mean?
Well,
so, you know, and potentially what you've got to look at it is that if we do get rid of him for that kind of money, it means that obviously this is their way of thinking, right, you know what, for the next 4 or 5 years, we're just going to have to do what every other club that's struggling at the moment, and they used to start to rebuild. Richmond has started doing that. Essendon can't rebuild at the moment because they're waiting for their narcotic supplier, so that's the only way they can build. So, yeah, but every other club potentially is looking at rebuilding. Now, you know, it's a very uneven system at the moment. You've got clubs that are really, really struggling and are going to be struggling for a while. And then you've got these clubs that at the moment are peaking. So it's always an up and down situation. It's never when you've got every club across the season that could be sort of at a certain level, or close to that, that line. It's either that difference, never that sort of thing. I think we had that a few years ago, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was about 3-4 years ago, where you had so many clubs that were so close and all fighting for the 8. But at the moment, I don't think that one player is with. Now, you want to talk about a class player? We're going to talk about Nick Dacus, but I don't want to talk.
No, we don't need to talk about Nick.
Right.
But so, Liam, is there anything that you've heard on the street? Is there anything that Jez has passed on to you, or?
A lot of what people think over there is that he's actually happy. However, the problem is performance with West Coast. They've won one game for the season, and if he doesn't want to play for an underperforming team, he's in the worst performing team of probably the last 5 years. So there's definitely reasons why. Obviously, the home pool has been spoken about a bit. He wants to come back to Victoria, but by all accounts, he is enjoying the lifestyle in Perth, and he is genuinely interested in staying at the club. And with all these demands coming out, like of how much he wants and what he's worth, apparently, I think it's going to be hard to see him come back. But that was the point I did also want to make, was just on how much he is worth and how much they want him to get paid. What has he actually done so far? Like, seriously, I mean, we had people in the Richmond chat at halftime. He had 20 touches against us, and everyone's like, he's so good. If this is the player we're going to get, we should give up all this for him. I was like, it's one half, like Manny said, against the second last team on the ladder. He should be doing all right. But then also, second half, I mean, I'll talk about it when we get to the game, but he got clamped up by Jack Ross, and he had 7 touches in half, so he's not that amazing. That's my problem with it, is how can you put out such a high demand when really, what has he actually done? I know that he's got the potential, but he's got to be the most hyped player of all time.
Yeah, I mean, he's been disqualified from the NAB Rising Star. He's won Goal of the Year, like, really, what Harley Reed is he's a creation of hype. Like, he was heads and shoulders the best player in a pretty dead draft. But he was really, just overhyped from the start. But doesn't matter how hyped you are when you come in from a draft, you're the only person that can make a name for yourself. And I think it might have helped, going to Perth rather than North Melbourne. At least we thought maybe they would keep him away from things. He can settle for a bit and stay out of the limelight, but obviously not. But as you say, what has he really achieved? He's got a lot more to prove before, cashing in. But we know this is a league where you're paid on potential.
This was the stat that they had in the commentary, or somewhere where I read it. But over the last 6 weeks before this game, Champion Data had him rated as like the least effective player or something.
Yeah, I can understand that, because he also
the least effective player, and that's obviously because he gives away free kicks and all that.
Yes.
But like, so you're telling me a guy who over 6 weeks of football is the least effective player is worth nearly $2 million a year? Like, how much is a good player worth? How much is, like Manny says, how much is someone like Nick Dacus worth then if the least effective player is worth that much?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's all crazy stuff, man. It's all crazy.
Well, I think we should have an answer. Well, if not by the end of the year, by the end of next year. If not by then, by the end of next year, when he finishes his draft contract. Now, we probably should start moving things along, fellas. Actually, I know he loves his 4-wheel drives. I would not be surprised if we saw him accepting a minimum wage contract with a brand new Ford Raptor and plenty of free fucking land down at Geelong in a couple of years. I'll just say that before I forget.
That's true.
But moving on, big tribunal news, live breaking news. For everybody that was, and I know everyone that's watching was glued to the Carlton Melbourne game on Saturday night, we witnessed this thuggish incident of Stephen May knocking out our other trooper, our warrior, Mr. Francis Evans, in a brutal display of a non-football act, split his nose in two, sent his molars 3 feet into the air. Stephen May has been sent straight to the tribunal for this action, rightfully so. We have a result. Boek, how much time has he got? And
3
will we
weeks.
see him? 3 weeks? Ah, okay. Well, he's got 3 weeks. that's kind of what we expected.
3 weeks. And as we were talking about earlier, I'm pretty sure Rocco's right as well. So that's 3 weeks, and his concussion will be included in that.
Okay.
Right. It's not going to be. It's not going to be 4. I don't think
that was the other part of the storyline, because we got a little bit of payback on Big May during the game. At some point, he got concussed. I think it might have had to have done with a 7-foot bloke kneeing him in the back of the head. But it looks like that'll be served concurrently with his 3-week suspension. I'm going to go around the grounds, fellas. What do we think about this, Manny? Do you think it was deserving of a suspension, or was this truly just a footy act?
No, I think it was a footy act. And the fact that, I mean, look, Steve May is a lot taller than the other player that he. What's this bloke that he knocked out? What was his name? Francis, was it?
Frank
I
Evans.
never heard of him. I never heard of him. Apparently, he's one of your players. Anyway, he went for the ball. He knocked him fair and square. I don't think there was anything. You're asking for my opinion. I think there was nothing malice about it. If Roco wants to come back on and argue that it was malice, to me it wasn't malice. I mean, it's becoming a game of softer ballerinas. And don't tell me I'm a dick because you can't handle it. As far as I'm concerned, 3 weeks is not deserving. He shouldn't have gotten anything.
So you're telling me...
Shut the fuck up, you dickhead. What an absolute moron you are. Now I'm on here. Shut up.
It looks
Shut
bad.
Up. Here he
He
goes.
split his nose.
Manny,
It looks terrible.
I've warned you, man. I'll take you off and you will never come on this show again.
Why are you back?
Moron. I'm here now. So shut up.
Well, nobody told you to come on.
That's a footy act. You don't even go to the footy. How would you know it's a footy act?
That was a footy act.
How would you know?
And he's
Do you
pulled
know
himself
the
in.
rules?
And he's
Do you
gone
know
in
the
there.
rules? Do you know the fucking rules, you dead shit?
Come on.
Do you know the rules? Do you know that you can tackle? Do you know that if you decide to bump and you hit him on the head, right, you get penalised? That is not a footy act. I was there. He saw him coming and he fucking braced and
I don't think he did. I don't think he did.
What would you know? I think you did. You are an absolute moron.
I don't think he did.
Complete respect for you. What did you see, Manny?
I'm not taking anything away from it. The angle I saw it at.
What did you see?
The angle that I saw it at.
What did you see? I don't want to hear another word, but what did you see?
I saw him pull himself up, right? And then the player's coming across, and your player has hit him.
Oh, so now it's Francis's fault for breaking his nose. Francis went for the ball. Manny, you look like a dickhead every time you talk.
No, that's your opinion.
Going for the ball.
That is your opinion.
May knew exactly what was going on, and he wasn't going to get to him.
I don't think so.
So he braced, and he's put in his shoulders, and if you look carefully, he went like that. That is a bump.
Correct.
It got him in the head, and the bloke should have got the rest of the year. And you are gone.
You saying that he braced?
Bye, Manny. I never want to see Manny again.
Welcome back, Roco. Great to have you.
I'm only joking. You can stay. But I'm telling you now, I was not going to come on till I heard the rubbish. And you know what you are? You are a clout grabber. Because all you care about is talking rubbish so you can get your name on there.
Hang on, Roco.
You are a moron.
Let me defend myself here for a second, right? Right? And I want you to be honest with me. A couple of weeks ago, when Nick Dacos jumped in the air to get the ball and he got pushed and he ended up going about 300 meters in the sky and fell back. You telling me that was part of that? That's part of the game?
I don't even
Tell
know
me.
what bit you're talking about, so I
So
don't know what. I've got to know
when
what
he
you're
got
talking
tunnels
about.
in the Gold Coast game, but that was
And what
that was
happened?
two
Did he get a
blokes with
free
eyes
kick?
on the ball going for
Did
it.
he
He got
get a free
nothing.
kick?
He got nothing.
Well, that's a bad decision. Doesn't make this decision wrong.
Listen,
But what I'm saying is, the way I saw it, I don't think, because May is a lot taller. The way I saw it,
So what?
no, but
I'm
that's
just saying,
Manny.
the way
Manny.
I saw it, to me, it didn't look like it was intentional.
No, but Manny, here's the thing. You have to understand. You can't just look at. I don't know how many angles you looked at it from. It needs to be looked at 3 or 4 different angles. The angle I'm looking at right now, plus one other angle, you can literally see when he's coming in. His eyes, once he knows the ball is gone, his eyes go directly to Evans, and his arm doesn't just brace here and not move. It goes out. Right?
Well,
if you watch it. If you watch it, his
I'm
arm
gonna-
goes
I'm gonna
out.
have
He
to-
left his arm
I'm
in
going to
that
have to
challenge.
go back and have a look at that, because the
100%
one
in
that
you.
I saw, the one that they showed when I was watching the game, the angle that I saw, it didn't look that way.
I understand, but that's what I'm saying to you. You have to look at it from all angles available.
How about you do some research, Manny?
Well, I'm
Just
only
because
going
you saw it on one
off
angle, you have to see it on
what
all
I've been,
angles.
you know. I didn't know that I've got to sit there and try and research different
Well,
angles.
if you're going to come here and give your opinion, how about you know what you're talking about?
Well,
Like,
I'm
not
giving
just
my
come on here
opinion,
like a big buffoon.
but I'm giving my opinion on what I saw.
But
But
that's
Manny,
wrong.
you only
to
see
me,
it from one angle.
It didn't look intentional. But
What didn't
Bojack
look
is saying that
intentional? What was
was.
it? He knew. Listen to me, bro. Before I go, listen to me. Educate yourself, right? You have an option to tackle, right? That's your option, right? If you don't and you decide to bump, which he did, you pay the consequences.
Correct.
Now, if he had missed him, so be it, but he didn't. And have a look at it. The bloke knew exactly when he couldn't get to him, he went for him and he got him on. Now, if he had got him in the shoulder, let's say he's got down and he got him in the shoulder, well, so be it. He would have been lucky. But guess what? May is a dog. May is a dog. May is a player who bashes his own teammates. Right?
He's got pride.
May's a dog and he deserves everything he gets. And in saying that, I wouldn't mind a player like May into my side anyway. I'll be back later on. See you later, Jack. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, you
Well,
need to.
I was just going to say that I think Francis is too soft. To be honest with you.
Fuck, Manny.
What? He
No,
put his
you
head.
know,
He
maybe it's too
literally
soft.
went into that without thinking about anything.
Well, a couple of years ago, when Nick Dacos got injured, and he was out for almost 4 or 5 games.
All right, that's enough. We don't need to hear more Nick Dacos talk. Seriously.
How can you say a player is soft when he literally put his head over the ball, got his nose smashed up? How on earth can that be soft?
Hang on.
He was honestly one of the
if
bravest
I can't sit
acts
there
I've
and
seen from
express-
a Carlton player in years. And it's from a bloke who's
Manny,
been
you've gotta be
bladed
trolling,
by
bro.
us non-stop all season. Frank Evans, get well soon, son. I don't know. We'll give you a little shout out, mate. How about that? Now, Liam, how did it look to you, mate?
Yeah, look, I'm not going to rip Manny as hard as Roco did. I don't think it's possible. Look, so it's very similar to the chat that we had with Mark the other week when Durham hit Jarrett and he tried to defend that as a football act.
Yeah,
It's the same
indefensible.
thing.
Yeah.
If you choose to bump and you hit the head, you're in trouble. And Scotty, you said it as well. He's done this shit before, Stephen May. He's done it before. That's so bad. And he had every option to pull out of that. He didn't have to bump there at all. He did not have to bump. He chose to bump. The ball was gone. The ball was passed. And they're like, oh, he's pretended to go for the ball. It's like, no, he fucking hasn't. The ball's not there. He's put his arm out and he's taken the player out. He had a cheap hit and he took it. For me, that should have been season over. He should have missed the last 5 games or whatever it is.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more with you, Liam. And if he had played this weekend, it would have been his 250th.
I guess.
He should have been
like
playing
Roco
it
said,
in
Stephen May's a
2026.
dog, man. Do you remember the
He
one
is.
Can I
like
say-
years ago when he took
Can I
out
say
Steph
I
Martin?
take that back because I've just had a look at a couple of different angles that they've shown on Fox Live there, and on the couple of other angles you can actually see that he's gone with intent. So Roco,
all right,
I
man.
take that back.
Come
I
on,
take
nah.
that back.
After
Nah,
you-
No,
yeah,
first
you know
thing
what
you
else
guys-
we can take back? We can take this back.
Hang on. I want to preface all of that by just saying I didn't get a chance to say it when I said I do agree with Manny that the game has gone soft when it comes to bumping and tackling and all the rest of it. I hate it, right? You can't get away. They're looking at everything so, intricately now and all the rest of it. So I 100% agree with Manny when it comes to I wish there was a bit more of the biff, right? But you can see on the front angle, like front onto May, you can see that it's not just an arm there. He goes in and then unleashes to the right. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not talking
you're right.
overly.
You're
I'm
right.
exaggerating,
You're right.
but it goes out to the right.
Yeah.
You have to
you're
look
right.
at every
I'm having
angle.
a look.
You can't just
I'm
look at
having a
one.
look at it, and you're right. There is intent. There is intent. But on another angle, it shows that he's actually. But having a look at the other angle, you're right, and maybe I should have.
Move, if he didn't move his arm, and that's
Yeah.
bracing for impact, right?
Yeah,
But he moved
yeah.
the arm.
Yeah. He took,
What can you do?
Look, we
That's what it is.
appreciate the 180 turn, Manny. Thank you very much. We know you're a man of conviction.
Oh, mate.
But
Look,
to add to your point, Bo, not necessarily bringing back the biff, and I know Manny would agree with me here, if that did happen to his precious Nick Dacos, what would his Collingwood teammates have done to Stephen May?
Yeah.
If that had happened to Christian Petrarca, what would have May done to that? Where's the remonstration? Where's the comeback from the Carlton teammates for Francis Evans, man? The bloke got killed and not a single person went up to May.
I can tell you now that all we would do is we'd sit there and say, Maynard, attack. And
Yeah.
Maynard would he'll take anybody,
Yeah,
and that's
he
the
would.
thing. You know what? And that's what the really disappointing thing was, that he's fallen to the ground and his players are sitting there, lifted him up, and it was more about, was there a goal or something that happened at the time, rather than sit there and have more concern and then sit there, get in there and start maybe the jumper punch, grab him, bang, smack him one, get in there hard.
Yeah,
But then
it should have been an all-out brawl.
Oh,
No heart. There's no heart there. There's no heart.
Yeah.
No heart.
Instead
So
of
that's-
Carlton, that shit happens and HR jumps on the field and says, "Hi, we've just got you some nice flowers for your bump. Thank you very much."
Yeah. We're seeing some toxic behavior on the field. Yeah.
Nah. If that was my
maybe
team,
send
I'd
some
go.
tulips. Some
Now,
But
chocolates.
Manny, that's what it is, man. It's fucking nice FC. Cripps even went over and tried to break it up. The fuck is this?
Yeah. There's only Fogarty
what-
went up and tried to do something, but then his captain. I mean,
And I can tell you, if there's one player that I dislike, it is Stephen May. When they played Collingwood and they lost, and then they turned around and said that we're better than Collingwood, and Collingwood won the premiership that year. It's like, stick that up your ass, Stephen May.
I mean, the umps did get you over that extra couple of points to win that final, so he does have a bit of a point to make there. But
Oh, mate.
please, the only Collingwood talk that I want to quickly bring up is your captain, Manny, Darcy Moore. The fact that he's escaped the tribunal, that is an absolute travesty. That is bull for what is certainly not a footy act. What he did to Josh Tracy and I cannot speak. I can't.
The big kahuna, mate.
Josh
That's his
Tracy,
nickname.
what he did to Josh Tracy in the fourth quarter of your game, mate, that is an absolute disgrace. And the fact that he has not been punished for his knee of destruction for what it has done to this footy league, mate, when's he going to pay for this? He's a fucking dog, mate. He's low skilled.
Listen,
He's
I
obviously
ex-
frustrated.
I
He's just had
expect
6 goals kicked
to
on
show
him.
nothing but utter respect for our captain. Very simple. Nothing but utter
The
respect
most
for our
protected species, mate, these
Okay.
magpies.
It's you know what? It obviously doesn't look as bad as what every other person that hates Darcy Moore or hates Collingwood are going to turn it into turn a little molehill into a mountain. But I can tell you right now, there was no intent there. It was
If you want to talk
happened
about
in a-
turning molehills into mountains. Darcy Moore's knee into his back could have been a molehill, but the mountain that it could have caused, I don't know if you're across what happened to was it Finn McGuinness when his kidneys ruptured over the weekend? He lost almost half of his blood.
Yeah.
Why don't you ask Sam Newman or what was that bloke's name?
Well, what about Petrarca?
Tom Lonergan. Petrarca
What
as
about
well,
Petrarca?
another victim of Darcy Moore's knee. Mate, what this bloke does week on week has serious consequences and almost killed Petrarca.
That's the game. You've got to have that
This
mongrel
is
in
not
you.
the game.
And it's
This-
something
this
you
is
guys
what-
don't.
this is rubbed
It's something
out of
you
the
guys
game
don't have.
years ago.
As Boek said, at the end of the game, you guys obviously go and have drinks after the game, and probably get you guys served, hors d'oeuvres and all that kind of stuff. Come on, mate. Come on, let's just leave it.
I know what Darcy Moore's having on a Saturday night after a game down on Peel Street, mate. Don't worry about that. But you're living in denial, bro. We rubbed this shit out of our game years ago because we know the consequences. But for whatever reason, Moore and his knee can just get away with it week on week. It's disgusting, mate.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Come to
That's,
the jumper
that's
player.
obviously the MRO missed it. Maybe
The bloke who played for Collingwood all his life that runs the MRO happened to miss that one. Now, we won't let you have the last word on that one, Manny, because you're going to start on this next one. You had a topic you wanted to bring up, and it might actually, we'll bring this ahead early, unprecedented on Fourever Rivals, but we're bringing Manny's ladder up because it's a point of discussion for you, Manny. We're bringing this up a little earlier because you had a few points you wanted to bring up about the top 8. In particular, there's one team that you've got your eyes on. Why don't you tell us about it?
Well, I called it a few weeks ago, actually about 5-6 weeks ago, that I said that potentially the one team that I think is going to miss out finals football is the Gold Coast Suns. Now, I know at the moment they're just sitting outside. Sorry, they're sitting just inside the 8. But I want to go back at the start of the season when the Bombers and Gold Coast Suns game got cancelled for whatever reason. Was it bad weather, whatever it was?
Oh, just a small cyclone, Manny.
Yeah, a small little cyclone. And, of course, their coach, the excellent coach, that super coach that came from North Melbourne, instead of saying, you know what, let's just move that game to Melbourne. I know what's happened. Let's get the game over and done with. Now, all of a sudden, you've got the Gold Coast Suns who are going to be playing their final game against a very undermanned Essendon team. You know what I mean? So, potentially...
So what's your point, Manny?
Well, my point is that had they played the same day, you would have had a different sort of scenario because you would have had a team that's, at least now they've got so many injuries. They've got 15-year-olds that play in there. It's going to play it's going to have a huge effect on whether the Western Bulldogs and the Gold Coast are going to potentially get into that 8. And I guarantee you that there is going to be the little buffer the Gold Coast are going to need, and they're going to get it.
Well, I can tell you right now, Manny, Essendon would have probably about the same chance of winning that game, whether it was at the start of the year or at the end of the year. But with that, if they had that game at the start, if they won that game at the start of the year, they would have been sitting in the exact same spot as they are now, tied with 3 other teams for 5th to 8th. I mean, if they were fighting at the end of the year, if they're looking at potentially a top 4 spot or 5th or 6th for a home final, I mean, yeah, that could be interesting. But yeah, I'm really struggling to see how effective that could be like now, really.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's wait till the end of the season and I'll tell you how effective it can be. Because I can tell you right now, you've got the Bulldogs, they're on 40, you've got Gold Coast on 44. Now, they're going to be playing a very undermanned team come towards the end of the season. So
I don't know. Gold Coast can't really do anything about it. And if they lock in finals, they're still at a bigger disadvantage than anyone else in the top 8 because everyone else will have 2 weeks break. They're going to have, less than a week and a half after playing that game.
Well, yeah, I suppose that's another point you made, but that's the thing. That's a silly thing that because the coach didn't want it. This is where the AFL should turn around and say, you know what, we really don't care what you want. We run the AFL. Let's play the game in Melbourne. Get over and done with. That's simple as that.
Well, it was the AFL's choice to schedule the game then. For what it made no sense that the other game that night was Geelong and Brisbane. They just played that game 3 weeks later because they both had the bye at the same time. I have no idea how they work out the fixture. I mean, if their byes lined up, why couldn't have Gold Coast and Essendon's? But we've been talking about it all year. We really won't know the ramifications of it until the end of the year.
I suppose maybe I'm a little bit biased because I made the prediction that Gold Coast weren't going to play finals football. So maybe I'm hoping. Maybe I'm hoping. I don't know.
What I would like to see, Manny, is Gold Coast is fighting for, whichever spot could get them a home final, but it requires them to beat Essendon by like 100 points to get the percentage or something like that. But they've got a pretty healthy percentage at this point. Is there anything you wanted to add to that, Liam? Or
yeah, just on that point that Manny said about where Essendon are at the moment, being very undermanned. This decision was made at the start of the season, and we couldn't predict where Essendon would be or where Gold Coast would be. So regardless of where they're going to be at when this game is played, when they made this decision, none of that really mattered. We had Gold Coast could be top of the ladder. They could have been bottom of the ladder. Essendon may have had a full side. They could have heaps of injuries like that too. That was hard to predict. So I think it's. I get what you mean by saying, they're probably in with a really good chance now to beat them because of this, but you couldn't have predicted that at the start of the season. So yeah, and that's just something we've got to deal with now. This game has been scheduled. The AFL decided to make that decision. So yeah, whether it gives a positive or a negative impact, still yet to be told.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
And for most of the year, you could have said if Gold Coast had that win under their belt, they would have been above Collingwood for most of the year.
Yeah.
Boek, anything to add, or shall we get a wriggle on?
I just want to point out that we mathematically can still make finals. We're in a really, really good space on the field.
I did want to bring that up. I mean,
absolutely, we are going to make it. It's going to be a cracker run home, and can't wait to scrape into the finals.
Doing my job as a sick in the head Carlton sicko if I didn't run just a couple of permutations of the ladder predictor, but we can talk about that later because, fellas, we had a couple of games on over the weekend. Starting with, I don't know if anyone actually watched this one, but
I watched so much footy, mate.
At VGWS, Essendon 7 goals, 14 behinds, 56 to GWS 16-8, 104. We see the big man there, the package himself, getting one in on his old side. Boek, can you tell us about this one? I don't know. I had it on the background, but
Scotty, before we go on, we've got a membership that just went up.
I did see that, actually. One of our other favourite sons, Oz8's member for 11 months. Wow. Almost a full year as a TJP member. I won't be at the Hawks v Blues game tomorrow night because of work on Friday, but I'll be watching it on TV. Oz, we love you. You're an absolute star. Thank you so much for your loyalty and for everything that you do for us. We love you, mate. And I can't wait to see you at the end of August.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're good. You run the show better than I do, Bo.
No, it's fine. I'm actually going to throw this one to someone else because I'm going to be blatantly honest and say that I watched this game solely to see if my multi would come good. So,
yeah.
It is what it is.
Well, was there a market for injuries or?
There was not, but thank you, Stringer.
Oh, we love the package. So how'd the game play out, Bo, outside of the multi?
No, honestly, I'm being dead set honest. I watched the game. Like I was tuning in every maybe couple of minutes or whatever. Essendon are shit, man.
I think potentially
I didn't take
most
of
people
tactically or anything. Nothing.
I think most people would have been probably watching the game to see how well Jack Stringer performs against his old team. and I think he didn't disappoint. GWS are licking the lips, saying, "Well, you know what, you didn't want him, and potentially, he could have stayed. I think he wanted to stay, didn't he? But they didn't want to give him that option, and GWS have taken him. So."
Oh, look, I think he wanted more years and more money. Essendon didn't quite see eye to eye with him on that because he was a very conditional player during his time at the Bombers. But GWS have pulled the heist off. Well, is it really a heist? Actually, they've pulled off it quite well. They grabbed him for nothing and played him with purpose. And well, it looks like he's doing well, but we'll see how he pulls up in finals potentially against, unfortunately for Essendon, probably the second worst performing team in the league at the moment. But anyone else catch this one or?
Nah, I did actually watch a bit of it because like Bo, I just like watching football, even if it is Essendon. Honestly, their first half wasn't too bad. However, it was very similar to how they played against us the week before. Their skills are horrible. I think they kicked 1 goal 8. It took to the first game of Liam McMahon to get their first goal.
Oh yes, I'm having
flashbacks
now. I watched the first half and then had the rest on. Yeah, because they couldn't kick a goal for the first half, and Liam McMahon, former Carlton reserves player, he kicked their first goal just towards the end of the second quarter. And it wasn't until halfway through the third he's their only goal kicker at one point.
The Giants weren't playing good in that first half. It was cool. They did Tom Green from the Giants. He was mic'd up and he wasn't too impressed with their efforts at halftime. And fair enough, Essendon were right in the game. But unfortunately, the biggest problem with them is just their skills, man. Just basic stuff. I was like, gee, this is hard to watch. It's like watching an amateur side play at times. Like watching.
It literally is. I mean, like the big man Jezza reminded us last week. They've debuted as many players as Fitzroy did, which is the record.
True. Yeah. So it's going to take them time to learn, obviously. And when you're having 6 different changes every week, because I know we had it last year. It's really hard to build something. That's what I noticed. Their game plan just, I don't know. They try to move the ball quick and get it going, but they really lack the skill to do it, and they just don't have the players at the moment, unfortunately. So I don't want to rip them too much, but
that's bunch of drug sheets anyway. Fuck 'em. Plus, it's as we keep reminding our favorite son Mark. He talked that much shit last year about the Tigers and their injuries, and it's next man up. But I couldn't help but notice as well that Essendon have sacked their own head of fitness, much like Carlton. They're also replacing all their turf at Windy Hill, much like Carlton. So they're kind of copying a double serving of karma from Mark this year, his favourite Bombers. But unfortunately, we don't really have anyone representing the scum this week. But I always have the invite out if any red and black, if you bomber heads are there in the chat, you're always welcome to come on and give your thoughts. But we all know none of the scum watch this show anyway. But unless Pinball Pete's around, but even he.
Scared.
Oh my god! Even though I think he's given up. Now, moving on, fellas, we had our favourite thing in footy, a big doubleheader on the Saturday night. Now, I'm sorry, Liam, but we're going to have to put the off-Broadway show up first. But it was a big one for you in the end. Oh, geez Louise. The mighty Meth Coke Eagles dominated by the Richmond Tigers. 8-8-56 to 16-9-105. Liam, take the wheel, mate. Run us through.
Boys, look, 2 wins on the stint. How cool. To be honest, particularly that third quarter, probably the best footy we've played all season. I know everyone's going to say, but it's against West Coast, they're terrible. It doesn't matter. For a rebuilding side, to see us do that and to play in that fashion, particularly that third quarter, that's, as I said, best footy we've seen all year. it's the way that we could see the future and see that game plan. We moved the ball quick out of half back. We linked up well with hands through the middle. And the best thing was the delivery into the forward line was really crisp. We really hit our targets and we put it on the board. I think it was 1 goal 2 to 8 goals 4 in the third quarter. I don't have the stats in front of me. I apologize, but from my memory, that's right. It was just awesome to watch. And yeah, I was messaging Jazza, and he said, no, you guys are just too good. You're fast. You're playing well. You're moving the ball well. Yeah, you're making us look bad. But honestly, the whole game was really good. The first half took a little bit to get into it for us, but that Morris Rioli tackle, have you guys seen that? Like,
Yeah.
Yes. That's the only part of the game I've actually watched.
Nah, that was something special, boys. I'm telling you, and that really turned it for us. Like I think we went on a run of 4 goals after he nailed that tackle.
It's
so
funny too.
like
Both
that,
times that you've played the Eagles this year, the game's been defined by an epic rundown tackle.
It's true. I mean, Tom Brown's is probably better because it did actually win the game, but this one definitely put us back in the momentum.
It's one of the best of all time. Like, I have no shame in admitting that.
He ran 75 meters or something all the way through the middle to stop me. It's impressive. Like, I don't care if you guys don't like Richmond. You got to admit that is some super cool stuff.
No, that is, and that shows that, like you said, an undermanned, well, a young side, a rebuilding side, and then you get players like that, just that small bit of passage of play is an inspiration for a lot of other players, and it's just that no, let's not just, let us, just win this game. Let's just really go in there hard. And it's, well done. I mean, I thought you guys were going to lose, and I was very, very surprised. So
I think Richmond are coming along really nicely. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't feel like it doesn't look like a rebuild where you go, are we going to be any good? Are they going to do anything? They're fine. They know they're in a rebuild. It looks good. They were fine.
That's what I wanted to ask you, Liam. Obviously, Richmond, they're playing with confidence, probably with plenty of help after round 1. But they're not like those other rebuilding sides that we've seen many times with Carlton. We're currently seeing with North Melbourne, where their youngsters just got pummeled, and all they know is how to lose. But unfortunately, this fucking Tigers side, they're going to come around. They're going to come around quick.
Yeah, no, look, I think that's what's most pleasing. Again, like I said, you can say, you only beaten West Coast, you beaten Underhand, Essendon. It doesn't matter. It's the signs of the future that we're seeing, and that's what's really important. Like, if that's the game plan that we want to implement, you give us a few years' time, build that group of players, maybe get an experienced player or two in, maybe get another couple young guns in the team. There's still a few big names out of our team that didn't play this weekend. So, and the last weekend, we actually went in unchanged to this West Coast game. So, yeah, just to see as a fan that's the sort of effort that we can deliver, and that's sort of the glimpse of the future that we have. It's really exciting stuff, and I just want to shout out a couple players quick while I'm thinking of it. But I did mention Jack Ross earlier. He went to Harley Reed second half, clamped him up easy. He also had 25 possessions of his own at 82% disposal efficiency, if I'm correct. Timmy Taranto had 3 goals and 30 touches. That's elite. Give him 3 Brownlow votes. Prestia was great in the middle again. Hopper was great. I thought Jonty Fall was great as well. He kicked a couple goals this week as well. And he actually set up a couple as well, probably his best game. Ben Miller, fantastic down back, as was Tyler Young. And it's actually creating a bit of a selection headache. A few of us are chatting about it at the minute. Does the criminal Bolter get back into the team with the way our defenders are going? I don't know. But yeah, to answer the question, yeah, it's exciting signs for the future.
Yeah, no, it's well, unfortunately, it's a great time to be a Tigers fan, I have to say.
Yes.
Now, enough of that about that shit, because there was a much better game on. Not really.
No.
I'll tell you, Liam. The way I watched the Richmond game was just about 10 pixels in the top right-hand corner showing the score. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we had this game on at the same time. They tried to take eyes away from the biggest team in the league. This one had me falling asleep at halftime, but it is the big. This is what we're all here for, fellas. Carlton v Melbourne, 12-6, 78, 10-10, 70 to end the drought. The Blues. I guess, they. I mean, someone had to win at some point, but yeah, Carlton beat the D's. Boek premiered. Was that the premiere for the watch along?
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Yes,
it was the first one. That's
massive night for our TJP Rising Star Boek. You were the man. You were there the whole time. Tell us about it. How was the watch along? Sorry if I forgot to plug that before, but how was the watch along? How's the game? Mate, how many coffees, how many Red Bulls did you have to pump at halftime just to get through the rest?
No, I actually had a beer at halftime because I was encouraged to. So I did, and I don't drink. So this was a little bit of a special kind of occasion. So why not? But no, the watch along was good. I think the biggest thing we get, and first and foremost, thank you to everyone that dropped in for that. Because I'll tell you, I wasn't nervous, but I was just worried that it wasn't going to be too many people in there to talk to. But I had so much fun. It seemed like everybody else had some fun as well. So that was really, really cool. We go again tomorrow night. So
yeah. Just to let everybody know, on TJP, Boek is hosting the TJP watch-alongs. Every Carlton game, be there or be fucking square, fellas. Boek is the GOAT. He'll be there tomorrow night. Please drop in. If you're at the game, give a like during quarter time. Say hello. We love you, Boek.
Jeez, I gotta get you. You know what? You know what? I gotta get you to do my intros when I walk into work.
I think so.
Like what?
Because
Better every moment.
To be honest,
I just go into a fugue state sometimes, and then when you just like have that thought, like my mouth's moving, but like what am I saying, bro? And
No. I appreciate it. It's just
I want to grab a fucking.
I'll give you. Are you gonna bring? Sorry, go on.
I was just going to ask the question: what is it that you feel that you saw Carlton do against Melbourne? That obviously winning the game was a big thing, but what change did you guys see on the field that sort of warranted that win? Something that you could say that stood out, that made that sort of win. That this is something that we've seen now, that we've noticed a huge change over the last, say, 5-6 games.
Yes, Manny. To answer your question, the obvious point of difference was our younger players stepping up. And well, really not even just our younger players, but our first, second year players that haven't been around for ages. That includes Nick Haynes, Ashton Moyer, obviously, O'Farrell, Matty Carroll, the GOAT. They were all the ones that stood up. And when it came to the game plan, there was no change in the game plan, man. And the only reason why it kind of worked eventually was we're playing a team that has the same game plan. They had the same issues that we've always had. Neither team can score. You can kind of defend, really, but it's just this contested shit that nobody plays anymore. Melbourne just had two good players playing for them, and we had about half a dozen. So it came out in the end. But it was the performances of our younger heads that stood out, and hopefully gives them the confidence going forward, because if they can bring that performance for the rest of the year, look, I don't see us winning many more. It can hopefully give us a look to something to look forward to in the future.
I think the Don's going to jump in for this one, is he not?
The Don? Oh, well, if he wants to,
So I was going to say, I'll let him jump in and he can give his analysis on what he saw and so on and so forth.
Oh, you're welcome to stay if you want.
No. I've got to take off anyway. But
okay.
I will. I just wanted to say a couple of things before we switch over. First and foremost, my love going out to Mark and his family, because I didn't get a chance to say it earlier. So hopefully we see him back quite soon. I think you guys have covered everything else to do with him. So much love, Mark. Hope everything is going to look up from from the future and coming back on here. Watch along tomorrow night. So anyone that's not going to be at the game and you're watching from home, whatever else, jump in. I am not going to drink again. And I will just let you know this. I'll put it out there now. I know we promoted Remix Mania earlier. What I'll say is if you buy a TJP live show ticket and you go ahead and buy one to Remix Mania as well, the first drink will be on me. So enjoy that little deal. You can just screenshot me your ticket for TJP live, and I will keep it on file. You can come along. First drink is on me, and I'm going to let you guys go, and I'll just let you know that there's no way wine is better than Pepsi. All right?
Oh!
Remember that.
Thank you so much, Boek. We love you. And once again, just to show you one, Remix Mania, premier event, August 29th, little 577 Little Bourke Street. Get your tickets, please. Be there.
What's the
And, well, obviously, buy a TJP live ticket because you'll get a free drink. Can't beat that. Well, we're going to bring in the big kahuna. We might as well. He's the star of TJP after all. Now, as I bring him in, Roco. Thanks to another addition we've made to the channel, the great emergency meeting, our post-game analysis of the game. We heard a few opinions in regards to maybe this gives a bit of breathing room for the players, a bit of breathing room for Voss in particular. Did you see anything from how we played that game that could possibly change your opinion about Voss's future, about how Voss should coach the rest of the season? Because I think that's what Manny was kind of getting to.
No.
Great. Does that answer your question, Manny?
All right. Thanks for coming. No,
Yes.
it wasn't. And I said this on the show. If you look at the first 3 quarters and don't look at the last quarter, that game was a schmozzle. It was poor. The skills were poor, and it was 2 poor sides playing a game of footy, right? And the only thing was in the last quarter, we did step up. Cripper stood up big time in the last quarter. Great. Probably his best quarter of the year. Stood up. Wiedering stood up all year. Kernahan was okay. Kicked a big goal. It was all about moments that night. There were moments, Carroll kicks a goal from 50. Kernahan kicks that goal. There was also, I think, was it Flynn Young? He kicked the goal. Nice goal. So there were these, and of course, let's not forget about Moya. What's his name now? The
Burmese python.
The Burmese python, mate, right? It's the Burmese python. Now,
and it's because he's Burmese, Manny. Not because he's got a...
Right. I assumed it was...
As you were saying, Roco.
You understand, Manny? Yeah, so, and he stood up, and we've been waiting for him to stand. I think he's got something, this young kid. He's a good player, and he stood up, and not only did he kick the 4 goals, it's just his forward craft, the way he leads. He's a very good kicker. And the other thing he does that's very rare in football is, what is the word, Scotty, when you can kick with both feet?
It's ambidextrous.
That's the one. And apparently what the kid does is he kicks left foot, and then his next kick will always be right foot. So he swaps them around, and that's how good he is. And he's really good at both feet. So he was good. So did I see like Voss do anything different? No. I don't think he's still our coach. I think we need to still change coach, but I was happy with the young kids. Young kids are really good. I was really impressed. Carroll was very impressive, and so as I said, the young kids stood up. Something to look forward to for next year.
Yeah, absolutely. And we had that sugar rush of the 4th quarter, but we still only won by 8 points. I mean, yeah. And even after the win, it always feels great after a win, but it really changes nothing. And we've got to maintain our standards.
100%. It was really
that's one thing that fucking gets me, because people are just like, just be happy with a win, and it's like, bro, fucking anything will please you guys. Like,
Yeah, no, I'm past that. I'm past, like
Yeah.
just be happy with the win, like, yeah, it was good. It was good to get the win. It's always a bit better when you win. It was good to see the young kids play well. It was good to see the young kids actually after the game all happy outside. That's what it's all about.
yeah, and it was about 8 players under 50 games.
Yeah, it was good to
And
see them.
people have been begging for the kids, play the kids, which I think it's a bit condescending calling them kids. Like at the youngest, you're closer to 19. Like I think you're enough of a man, really, especially if you're playing professional footy. But we've been doing that all year, playing kids. Yeah, it's just a lot of people get their nose out of joint because we're not playing their favorite kid, really, whether it's Ben Camporelli or Harry Lemmy. But those have been given the opportunity. You can't say that they've wasted it.
No.
Yeah, the only people that have wasted their opportunity are their senior teammates, really. And I still think even now, they've got a lot more to play for than what these juniors do.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Yeah,
100%, especially from now to the end of the year. There's a few that could not be there next year. So this week I did see, we'll probably get into this, I did see that they've brought back fucking hell.
Akers.
They've brought back Akers. I can't believe they brought back Akers. So, but anyway, they brought back Akers. So what are they doing? There's many questions. If you watch the Jumper Punch last night, there were many questions brought up, like, should we keep playing TDK? If he's going to not be there next year, should we keep playing him, or should we play?
Even with, like, I know it's a dead horse with Tom de Koning, but like every week the excuses they make for this bloke, because even last week they said that his larynx is still fucked and that's why he can't run out games. And then in the fourth quarter, I see him leaping 3 meters into the air to take one of the greatest screamers of the season.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Don't piss in my pocket, fellas. But yeah,
so we'll see what happens. But like, there's been a few little moves in recent weeks I've seen, which is kind of made me happy. As I said, they dropped Akers. Well, they've brought him back now. But like Doherty retiring, good on him. We love him, but like, it's good that he's retiring. I think the club had a word to him. Enzo, we love Enzo. He'll be on the show in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, we love Enzo.
And they are playing the kids. It's good that they keep playing the kids. It's good they keep playing the kids, man. So it was okay. We'll see this week. It'll be tough, man. It's a different game.
It is what it is. Yeah. The only other part that I found interesting as far as like the narrative of the game was really just the comparison with Melbourne. We based our game style off them, and we both end up in the exact same spot, literally next to each other on the ladder, well, in the bottom 6. And even their off-field stuff, they've got players that are fucked on drugs. We've got players that are fucked on drugs. Yeah. They literally don't have a CEO or president. We might as well not have a CEO or president.
That's it. You're right. No, you're absolutely right, man. It's identical. The two, and you look at them on the ladder. They're almost identical. So,
we started 0-4. They started 0-5.
Yep. No, and it was that sort of game. So, it was okay.
Yeah. Well, we're running out of time, fellas, so we might just have to skip the next game and just get into next week's into the next round. But nah, Manny, I wasn't going to do that.
We won't be missing the next game, mate. We won't be missing that next game.
You weren't going to do me a favour.
The highlight of the week: Collingwood lose to Fremantle, 11-12, 78 to 12-7, 79. Fellas, I think all of Australia was tuned into the last 10 minutes of this game in particular. I think everyone. I was driving back from Chadstone. My mummy was driving, so I was watching it on my phone, but I was screaming at my phone. And I'm sure everybody that's watching now was screaming at their TVs for all the howlers, the rub of the green that Collingwood got, all these dog off the ball hits that were going, these spleens and kidneys going down like the Twin Towers. Manny, how did it happen? How did you see it? Were you behind glass for this one, or you rubbing shoulders with the punters down on level 1?
Well, let's just say that, you've got Nick Dacos that ends up with 43 disposals, a career high. But, things like that don't entertain me when you end up losing a game in the game that we should have won. I mean, 63 times inside 50, 63 times. I mean, one would think that even if you kick, a quarter of those in goals, you should have been sitting back in that last quarter, drinking tea and thinking to yourself, how we're gonna win this game quite comfortably. But full credit to the Dockers, and you know what? At the moment, and I was saying this to a couple of Magpie supporters the other day, that they said to me, "Oh, don't stress about it." I'm saying, well, you know what? We're coming down to the business end of the season, and this is where we should be starting to sort of get to that point where we're going to start taking off slowly and start to peak. Now, I know at the moment we're still on top of the ladder, but you look at teams like the Crows. I can tell you right now, the Crows, to me, they're looking like one of the hot favourites. You got Brisbane, who are, at the moment they're still sort of, a bit mediocre. You got Geelong that's, starting to peak. You got Hawthorn that's starting to peak. So, if you're a Collingwood supporter, you'd say to yourself, okay, maybe it was a couple of wins that we need, a couple of losses that we needed to have. Potentially, maybe yes, maybe there was a couple of losses we needed to have. But I think it was something that we've got to go back and learn from it. That's all I can say, because our systems were in place like usual, as McRae says. It's all about trying to play the game and follow the systems. But we I mean, last week against Gold Coast, I mean, half time we haven't even had a goal. I mean, that's beyond a joke. But we played a lot better this week, but just not good enough at the moment. Potentially we're going up against the Tigers, and the Tigers just quietly are feeling confident. They've won 2 in a row, so it's.
Well, Manny, back in 23, you guys were, as you would say, sitting pretty on the top of the ladder, and you started to slide. You were still able to maintain your first spot, but the top 4, top 5 definitely was not as competitive that year as it was this year. And all the teams that surround you at the moment, they're all serious, maybe not bogey teams, but ones that you have not struggle against, but they're definitely not good matchups for you no matter what. You need to make sure that you play that first or that second final on your turf.
Look, we've got Hawthorn. We've got Hawthorn next week. I mean, all right, Richmond. I mean, Richmond technically shouldn't be an issue for us, but we got Hawthorn next week. And then we've got the Crows, and I think potentially that's going to be the game that we play up in Adelaide. That's going to really separate the men from the boys. I really believe that if we win that game, I'll say that we're back in business. But if we don't win that game, I could potentially see us really having a hard look at.
Before that, Manny, I mean, I don't know what fixture you're looking at. You got Brisbane before that, so you got Brisbane.
Yeah, but Brisbane's at home. The Brisbane's at the G. The Brisbane at the moment is not really. Yeah, Brisbane's not really a concern for me. It's the Crows. We're playing the Crows in Adelaide. That's the one that's a concern for me.
They're only sticking on the ladder. They're not a concern for you. Okay.
No, they are.
Well, first of all, we're all the fucking Collingwood supporters out there. Where's
Yeah, actually, I did notice that we haven't seen our favourites this week.
Took 1 week. Took 1 week. Where's what's his name?
Mick Guitar. I haven't seen Mick tonight.
I saw before, but he decided to leave.
Oh, there he is. There he is.
Oh, he's there. There he is.
Every other week, you put the link in the chat, and these blokes are happy to sit there in the lobby for up to 2 hours at a time. But
yeah, just waiting. What about the other one? I keep forgetting his name. What's his name?
Timo?
No, the other one.
Ultimate Glory?
No, the one that the smart ass on the chat always. What's his name? Far out.
Andreas.
Oh, no regrets.
No regrets. No regrets. No regrets, mate. Where are you?
Oh, no regrets. He's cheeky boy, eh?
Yeah.
They're all full of shit. But with Collingwood, I just think this. Look, he's still on top of the ladder. What I'd be looking at if I was Collingwood, I know people are going to say, oh, we got players to come back, blah, blah. That's all I've heard, right? All full of shit, right? Last week against Gold Coast, you were held goalless. You did come back, and then they came back to beat you. This is one thing Collingwood have been able to do is win these close games. This week, right, you were 22 points up with 8 minutes to go, and Fremantle was able to come back and win that game and hold on. So they're just a few little things that you should be probably, and for sure that the coach is looking at this. He's not silly, you know. But it's just a few little things. I feel some of the clubs now maybe are starting not to feel as fearful as they would have. You know what I mean? A couple of clubs have got you. Will you still finish top 4? I think you'll still finish top 4. You'll probably still get a home final. You know what I mean? So, okay. But there's just those little things that are just coming into it. You know what I mean? So, what do you reckon, Manny?
And I think the fact that, you know, we talk about the fact that we've got all these players that are out, they're coming in, they're coming out. And, you know, and for me, it's what you're doing is you're causing an instability in the team, because right now, potentially what you want to do is you want to be able to say, right, I've got my best 22 in there, and I've got another 4 or 5 that I could potentially can put in there at any time to replace. But, you know, we're still waiting on the Gowie. Of course, you know, we don't know how well
you've got Bobby Hill to come in.
We got Hill potentially at the moment. So, you know, there's about 4 or 5 players that got to get that match fitness to be able to potentially be ready to come in and play. And I've heard people say to me, oh, you know, you got the Goey, you know, he's slowly getting ready because he's a player with, you know, the big stage player. But you know what, to me, you know, what's a big stage player? Yeah, sure, he's definitely got the X factor, but you want to be able to know you bring your players in and you haven't got that. Well, you know what? Maybe that was the wrong decision we made. But you know what? Let's see how we go against the Tigers. The Tigers are a young side, and of course, for the Tigers, this is going to be excitement for them. You know what I mean? You've got a lot of these young players who are going to be playing against a humongous club, you know, and a big crowd at the MCG. So, you know, for them, it's just going to be something exciting for them, and it's exciting for every team that plays Collingwood, because we are a big stage team. So that's all I can say.
Well, they've already got that experience when they in round 1, Manny. Don't forget that.
Yeah, that's right. They were big stage. Hey, can we just? I don't mean to take over, Scotty, but you are a Malacca side, and talking about Malacca.
We put the call out, and he answered. TJP's favourite, Mick Skatar. Thank you for joining us, mate.
What's happening?
How's it feel coming on after a loss, mate?
2 weeks in a row.
Unusual. It's very unusual. Used to just smashing everyone, but that's all right. We've lost the 3 games we've lost. They've all been under a goal. We've had our chances to win each one, and each time we've lost, we've rested key personnel, as was the case last round. So we're not getting, when we're losing, we're not getting smashed. We're in every game. So I'm fairly confident we're going to come home pretty good at the end of the season.
Well, that was going to be one of my questions for you, Mick. So early in the year, when you're winning, you're brilliantly managing these players. Now, when you're losing, it's causing disruption and it's not worth it.
That is true.
But the narrative over the last week and a bit has been managing Nick Dacos. So what's this about? According to Manny, he might have leather poisoning by taking every single kick in and 1-2 handball that's available. But if you're concerned about managing these players and making sure in perfect condition and have that continuity going into finals, would you be against resting Nick Dacos against a team like the Tigers?
Yeah, I would. Look, this whole resting business, I haven't been a fan of it. Like, I'm using that as an excuse for us losing these games, but I'm not a fan of it at all. Like, I know it's necessary where, for us to be okay near the end of the year, but yeah, I'm not a fan of the resting. I want to see the best team out there every week. I'm really getting tired of having check it. Myercheck, for example, plays 3 weeks, we rest him. Plays 3 weeks, we rest him. Just,
well,
I don't know, man.
If you play more than 3 weeks, he gets injured. So what can you really do?
Yeah, well, just play him, man. Like, even Jeremy Howe, like, just, we would have won that. We would have won that game against Geelong with Jeremy Howe in the side. Yeah. So,
well, I know Fourever Rivals is your favorite show, mixed guitar, but at the start of the year, I brought this up with Manny. These are the types of risks that you take on when you have such a senior list.
Yeah. Well, that was the big talking point at the start. Everyone said we're too old, and Fly said, "Oh yeah, we're going to manage the oldies, and that's what we're doing. And if we don't win the flag, everyone's going to say you made the wrong call." But having said that, with all these experienced personnel over 30, they've won flags. They know what to do when it comes to the finals. We'll be coming up teams that haven't been in that situation before. For example, Adelaide's kicking ass at the moment, but the majority of their squad, I don't think they've been in those really big finals where everything's on the line. And we've seen it over the years, young up-and-coming teams, they dominate during the year, and come finals, they choke.
Well, just to add to that, Mick, you pointed out Adelaide, who haven't played finals in years, but you'll more than likely be coming up against either Brisbane, Geelong, GWS.
Yep, that's true. And look, with Brisbane, I reckon our playing group are fairly confident coming up against them. We've beaten them more often than not the last few times. And GWS, I'd like to play them in Melbourne at the G, preferably. And even Geelong, they don't really. I would love to play them again because we had them on toast earlier this year, and they got us at the end. So, and we, as I said, we rested players, and they took advantage of that. I'm not concerned at all. Whoever we come up against in the finals, we will show up. We're not going to get destroyed. I'm fairly confident of that.
You'll definitely show up because you are experienced, so you'll definitely show up on all the games. That's not an issue. I think the only thing is other teams I don't think are as fearful anymore. So, we used to be, I'm telling you, those few losses, sides start thinking, oh, yeah, we got it. They start watching the game and seeing, and you saw Fremantle. I mean, you were 22 points up. I even turned around and go, nah, they're done. They're done.
I kept tuning into the game, and every time I tune in, because everyone's saying this is such a close game, I turn it on for 2 minutes. Collingwood start doing freaky shit, kick 2 or 3 goals in a row, and I turn it back off. Then it was the same at the start of the fourth, and I was like, I might as well just keep watching. There's no way they could bottle this one.
Yeah. Look, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. They came to play coming up.
Yeah. Did you feel that you had a bit of a rub of the green in that game, Mick?
With the umpires? The umpiring was terrible for both teams, man. Like, I'm not going to... With the emotion of the game at the time of the game, if you asked me, like, straight after the game, I would have said, the umpires fucked us up. But with, a bit of time, you think about it, it was pretty even. But, like, the umpiring if you watch the whole game, it was atrocious, man. It was just terrible.
Yeah,
And
no. There was definitely some bad.
Theme all year for the umpires.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
they've been shocking here.
Did you feel the Pies were hard done by, Manny, by the umps, or?
No, I agree. I agree with Mick. There was a lot of decisions that were made on both sides, you know, and you know, certainly there could be decisions that are made that at the wrong time that may affect the scoring chances or the opportunities. But you know, you can't take anything away from Fremantle. I mean, they've won 8 in a row, and for me, I think it's a good lesson for Collingwood. And you know, and as Roco said, McRae's going to go back to the drawing board and is going to realise, you know what, potentially this is where we didn't go right, and this is where we got to change things around. So you know what, at the end of the day, we're sitting on top. Perhaps we could have had that extra, you know, game buffer. We've only got half a game buffer, but look,
You were three games up on second not too long ago, Manny.
2.5 games. 2.5 games. So let's just you know what? Let's potentially see how we go over the next couple of weeks. But for me, the big test will definitely be the game against Adelaide in Adelaide, and you know what? And I think the Hawthorn game is going to be also very interesting. So you know we've got a good strong run to the end of the season. So time will tell.
My prediction is, look, you got Richmond, and without any disrespect to Richmond, I mean, you've kissed on the cock this week because you've got a bottom of the side team coming up, right? And I hope that Richmond get over you, but it's going to be tough for Richmond to do it. But then after that, I predicted this 2 weeks ago. I can see a small slide happening. I could see you losing 2 out of your next 3.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I'm not worried about Brisbane. Brisbane is not the one that's worrying me. I'm more worried about Hawthorn, and I'm more worried about Adelaide.
I reckon Brisbane's young gun, like the Ashcrofts and all that, are going to absolutely tear you a new asshole in a few weeks. No, I'm not worried. But full credit to Josh Dacos, they're going to make you look like they're going to turn you into their little bubbers in jail, mate. Little bitches. They're going to turn you.
We'll see. We'll see. You know, I mean, at the moment, for us, and something that was pointed out to me by someone who's not a Collingwood and not a Carlton supporter, he said to me, "Do you know that the Collingwood-Carlton rivalry?" Here's a little bit of history for you, Mick. The Carlton-Collingwood rivalry has now moved from number 1 to number 3.
Saying who?
On what?
Well, you know, in terms of you know how Collingwood and Carlton used to have that massive rivalry. They reckon that the Essendon, I don't know how they got that, but the Essendon Collingwood rivalry is bigger than the Carlton Collingwood rivalry.
From where? Where did he get this?
He needs to spell, to be honest. Like, what kind of bullshit is that?
You're just making stuff up. Can we have a look at this?
You just believe anything that you're told, Manny?
Give us something where we can get this. Where did you get it from?
Yeah. I didn't get it. I told you. This is something I was told.
But by who?
By a person who doesn't follow none of these teams.
Well, what's that got to do with it? So a person that doesn't follow
I'll just text him. I'll just text him, and hopefully he texts me back to let me know where he got his information.
You're full of shit, man. The
not
only
at all.
thing you know is that you don't even know what a rivalry is, because you actually got to go to the football to understand what a rivalry is, right? Hey, Mick, you've been great, man. Like, seriously, in the last few weeks, you've like really, really lifted a new level, and I like your in-depth analysis of the game. It's very, very good, man, and you're very, very leveled about where you are at. So it's going to be an interesting 4 or 5 weeks.
You know what it is? If I've got a dart in my hand, I'll turn into a crazy one-eyed supporter. And because I'm not, I can't smoke, so I'm being nice and sensible. Just a quick one.
Yeah.
Just a quick one for Liam. What's your prediction this week, Liam?
We'll do that early. Look,
early prediction.
I know you guys say that you're not worried, but I think there's every reason that you should be. We're confident we're going to come in, and we have proved we can. Realistically, yeah, it's going to be tough. Realistically, yeah. You guys are the better team. You guys cannot afford to drop another lose. Yeah, I don't know. I would love to see what happens next week if you guys lose and we win, because that would just be a dream come true for me and probably for a few other people here. But yeah, look, you guys you're a great team. I know you had a tough couple of weeks, but I'm expecting you guys probably take the win. I think we're keeping it close to, if we're keeping it around that 4 or 5 goal range, that would be my prediction. Nah. 4 or 5 goals. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope it's a good game, man. I've got a lot of Richmond supporter mates, and they're all starting to come out of their cocoons at the moment. So hopefully it's a good game.
That's
anyway,
all I want.
boys.
As long as we put up a good performance, that's all.
Thank you so much, Mick. If anybody, see you, mate. If anybody watches friend of the show, Andreas at Black and White United, I couldn't help but notice Mick's guitar has made a couple of appearances on there too.
Scotty, it's Mick Saka. Now, when you say that other word, when you say the other word, you're actually being offensive towards his surname. And Roco said it a couple of times, but it's Saka. All right, it's Saka.
I don't know if this is like a sensitive Greek thing or something, Manny. But Mick's guitar, if I'm saying your name incorrectly, just let me know next time, and I'll more.
I think we did
Saka.
Yeah. So it's Mick Saka.
Yeah, Saka.
Isn't that what I'm saying?
You're saying Saka. In actual fact, you're saying the word
that his name is a pile of shit.
Yeah.
Oh no. My apologies. I didn't. Sorry, I don't. I only speak the King's English around here, fellas. My apologies, but
I reckon Scotty was honestly getting that wrong. He wasn't trying to be smart. I think he just
fair enough. Fair enough.
But Manny, for once, you're right. You're right. It is Skaka and Saka. Is he say Saka? Is it Saka?
Saka.
Yeah,
Saka.
Yeah, all right, Saka. Yeah. All right, done.
He's a good man. I'll have it right next week. Mick's guitar. Now, Oz, thank you very much for the $5.
You said it again.
Oz Eight once again with the 5 bomb. My current predicted top 8 is 1 Adelaide, 2 Collingwood, 3 Brisbane, 4 Geelong, 5 GWS, 6 Fremantle, 7 Gold Coast, and sitting at 8th is Hawthorn. Not a bad top 8.
That's an interesting 8, just quietly. That's an interesting 8.
I mean, for years, Adelaide is like expected to be top 8 and just haven't been able to make it. I mean, they got robbed in 23, but to go from that till first, I mean, take away Adelaide Oval from them to start with. It's too good of a home ground advantage, at least in my opinion. But fellas, we have once again a big rivalry game coming up this week. We already know it's Collingwood and Richmond. We know Liam's predictions, but I admire his confidence. And I don't know, I think he's beginning to sway me, really. After beating Essendon and West Coast, I reckon they have a good chance at picking off number 1.
I've got a question because, like you said, seriously, Collingwood should win this. They're the better side. They're on top of the ladder. You know what I mean? Yeah, you've had a couple of good wins, but, seriously, they should win. But, Liam, how are you going to win this game? If you were to win this game, how would you win this game?
We need to come in with that confidence. We need to take particularly that third quarter from last week. If we can play like that, execute our game plan, come hard out of the back, good link up through the midfield, and actually hit our targets going forward, and then convert them, onto the scoreboard where every chance. Stopping them around the ball is going to be tough. Clearly, they've got more attacking assets than a West Coaster and Essendon do. So defensively, we're going to have to be switched on. But I mean, like I said, Ben Miller, for example, he's been locking away a few really good key forwards. So he'll do a job on someone down there. Maybe it's Myercheck or someone for Collingwood. I'm not sure. He'll do a job down there around the ball. We've started evening up the clearance numbers. So I think someone like Dion Presti is going to be. He's been the key. We've really started turning that point of the game. So he's going to do it. Maybe someone like a Jack Ross goes in, puts another tag, probably on that man, Nick Dacos. Maybe that has an impact. And yeah, but I really think if we can get enough chances going forward and use the ball well, like we did at stages last week, there's a chance. But again, I'm not stupid. I know Collingwood's a good team. I know they're a lot better than where we are at the minute, even if I hate to say it. So, but that's the great thing about football. Doesn't mean just because they're the best and we're the worst, apparently, doesn't mean we can't win. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's so true. I think if you get a few of your parts of the game right, of course you've got a big chance, you know what I mean? And as you said, like you're saying that your defense can hold up. They've got a few people up there. I mean, you've got to stop a few of those.
Yeah, well, the big one, Liam, in your defense will obviously be the curfew man himself, Bolter. He'll be cleared to play, won't he?
He will be cleared to play, but as I've said, I don't know where he fits in for us at the minute.
I like that.
Like, believe it or not, for a rebuilding team, we actually have selection issues like that, which is crazy to think. Like, Bolton may come in, but he may play forward again. And if he's going to play forward, I don't want him to come in.
Yeah, true.
Actually, that'll help you a lot if he plays forward.
It could be he comes in, starts forward as an extra target, and if we're starting to struggle down back, maybe he gets sent down there. Who knows?
What do we do with Dacos? Do you just play man on man and just let him roam? Because you saw against Fremantle, he gets 45, but they lose the game. So, or do you think about trying to put a tag on him?
I guess it just depends what sort of impact he has. If he comes out and has like a really hot first corner, he's getting away from the stoppage, he's getting a lot of that forward run and that great delivery into the forward line, as he so often does. Yeah. I think we definitely need to put some attention into him. If he's just running around getting cheap kicks, cheap touches around the back line that aren't really damaging, I'm happy for him to have his steady touches or whatever. It's depending how damaging he wants to be and what position he's in. Like if he's out of half back and he's just chipping it around, fine by me. If he's out of the midfield and he's attacking and going forward, that's a problem. That would need to be clamped. And Jack Ross would be the man to do it.
Sorry, 43 got sorry.
The thing is, Liam, unfortunately there is another Dacos that actually gets effective disposals at half back who you probably have to worry about.
Well, I'm conflicted with that because Josh Dacos is in my fantasy team, so I kind of don't mind. He's the one Collingwood player that's last so good. And Darcy Cameron. Actually, I've somehow managed up with two of them in my team.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't have fantasy. Fantasy football kills you, mate. You can't do it. It absolutely kills you. It's worse than betting.
Do you guys know who I'm trading out this week?
Who?
He's gone.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, not fair call.
He's been on the poo, mate. He's been on the poo, and I'd definitely trade him for sure.
Yeah, apparently he's a tagger now, Roco. So
that's what he did last week. He tagged Petrarca apparently.
But don't worry, I'm still I still won't pick specific players. That's why I don't have Nick in the team. Everybody in my league has him, but I refuse to put him in my team. I don't care how good he is.
What about the word? I don't know if you've talked about this. I think you didn't. There was word about Shearer. Richmond are interested in
Shearer to Richmond. Yeah. Would you take him, Liam?
That is. I think it's kind of what we were saying at the start. I haven't really heard any real substance to it. I've seen a couple rumors.
I know,
I think
this
a
is
big will pick up for us, but I don't know. I haven't seen any real talk about it. I'm not really sure I would facilitate it. I don't know who you guys want, or if you
What
guys
would,
want to.
what would you give us? What would you give us for him? Like, what do you think a Chera is worth? What you've seen of him? I don't think it's a first rounder, but what do you think?
Yeah, I'd say maybe that 20 to 30 pick range.
So a second rounder.
Yeah.
What about maybe one of your fringe players too, like a Layla?
Yeah.
One of our best players, yeah.
He's always injured, bro. He can't get on the park.
Maybe someone like Sonzi or someone, but I think that would be underdone for you guys.
Yeah, he'll definitely be on.
Rioli
He'll be on the table. He'll be on the table. You never know. You never know. I don't know if he's going to go Richmond, but he'll definitely be put up there, I reckon.
Yeah.
Manny, what are your?
Yeah.
Sorry,
This is a rivalry game after all. We didn't want to. We weren't
Sorry, what
ignoring
was
you,
that?
Manny.
What was your question, Rocco?
What do you
Our
think?
question, Manny, to Liam was how was Richmond going to win the game? But we're all on the edge of our seat to hear about how Collingwood might scrape a win here.
Look, we don't want to brag about too many things at the moment, but we've got a secret weapon when it comes to playing Richmond, and that's one player that Roco hates with a passion, and that's the big Mason Cox. Loves.
He's walked off the set. He's walked off the set.
Loves playing against. Loves playing. For some reason, loves playing against Richmond. Oh look, you know
He
it's
played one good game.
it's what Rocco said earlier on. You know, when you look at it, you know, Collingwood sitting on top of the ladder for a reason. They got you know the team. I mean, sure we've got a few injuries and we've been swapping players around, but no, look, I don't think it's going to be a tough game. It certainly it shouldn't be a tough game, and I think we should win this quite comfortably. So, you know, I understand. I mean, if you saw the game last week, Essendon and Richmond, you would have thought to yourself, what the fuck was that? That wasn't even a game.
They just played West Coast, and they actually looked pretty good against West Coast.
Yeah, and I agree. Against the West Coast Eagles, they looked very, very good. And you know what? This is probably a young side that is going to have their good games and they're going to have their bad games. But no, they're going to be going up against a big unit like Collingwood. It's going to bring them back to reality. And, you know, it's what we need to get ourselves back on track. So,
now,
but
Manny,
the big Mason Cox, that's going to be my.
That's the worst call you've made ever. He's so bad. He played one good game ever. And
one good game, and he took away the opportunity for Richmond to win 4 in a row.
It doesn't matter, mate. It's just one good game ever. It's how many years ago? 7 years ago?
It's okay.
And this guy's the secret weapon. He wears goggles, man. Get out of here. He's the worst, man. I hate him.
Bloke is just a big banana, mate. I swear to God.
This is a nice rivalry bubbling away here. Manny, you should know better than to question Liam's dynasty.
Yeah, that's
right, man. Because I just don't like Collingwood's players, man. Like, who were we chatting about earlier?
All right, let's go down the list, shall we?
Darcy Moore is their captain. Can he defend?
Actually, Manny, just I know it was all banter and fun and games about Darcy Moore before, but who is Darcy Moore? Your captain. Which third or fourth best forward is he going to be man enough to go on this week?
Yeah.
Are you one of the Richmond players?
Yes.
Do you even know who plays forward for Richmond?
I've got no idea, mate. I've got no idea.
Or at least he's on it.
Yeah.
I've got
he
no idea.
doesn't play on anyone though. He can't play one-on-one.
Nah, he's not a good one-on-one.
You cannot convince me that Darcy Moore is a good one-on-one player.
No.
Apparently he's the greatest defender in the game. Nah.
He's an intercept defender, bro. Like, he's pure hack.
Yeah.
He's a hack.
And I think we're lucky that we've got you know, I mean, Cameron has been an absolute superstar this year. You know, and he's the one that's
he'll be playing second fiddle to Mason Cox, apparently.
Well, you know, if some players just seem to have that knack to play good football against certain teams, and for some reason, the Cox loves Richmond. So you know what? If the Cox has a good game, Richmond's going to end up being a bit sore. So
I mean, the bloke plays VFL, so he's used to playing a bunch of 18-year-olds anyway. So
that's right. That's right.
He's
It's all about
seriously-
setting him up.
I know he's won a premiership, but he's seriously the worst player to ever win a premiership. I can't think of anyone worse than him. Anyone.
How is he?
Yeah,
You
fair
know
enough.
him?
How has he got a
Fair enough.
premiership, man? That's crazy. No, we're
All
not
right,
talking about this vlog anymore, man. I'm not wasting.
no. Okay, so after Mason Cox and Darcy Moore, who do you hate next, Liam? Steel side bottom?
Nah,
You can't hate side bottom.
Steele's all right, as is Pendlebury.
What about that little dweeb Schwartz?
Lockie Schultz?
Schultz,
I think-
whatever the fuck his name is. What about that bloke?
I think Schultz is your personal least favorite, to be honest.
I don't even like saying his name.
Nah, do you know who's winding me up this year? Jamie Elliott.
Yeah.
You're giving you the shits this year. What
Are
the
you
fuck?
serious, man? He's
Yeah.
oh man, this.
That's,
How's
I
he
mean,
doing it?
I'm hoping we're going to have
Where is this
Tom
come
Mitchell in
from?
there this-
Why has he never been this?
Tom
good?
Mitchell. Hopefully, will play this week, so that'll be a good chance for
Tom
him to.
Mitchell's shit as well. What does he do? He just gets handballs, mate.
Tom Mitchell, another
Yeah,
premiership player.
I love how basically Carlton kind of just trolled Collingwood with how shit we play to make Tom Mitchell actually look like a good addition to your side
He's
because he was Qatar the following week.
He was shit out.
How that bloke is a Brownlow medalist is beyond me. I know he gets a lot of the football, but what does he actually do with it? He does not know. He's got no idea, man. I could go out there and get 30 touches and do nothing with it, but I don't know.
Yeah, he's another useless. I mean,
No, that's
without
fair
the
enough.
Dacos, there's nothing.
That's
really,
fair enough,
are they?
Liam. That's fair enough, mate.
Without
You
the
know-
Dacos, would you actually, on a serious question on Manny, right? Because you're only playing Richmond, really, they're no good, Richmond. Let's face it, they're just rubbish, right? Aren't they, Manny? They're just rubbish, aren't they?
Who's
Right?
that?
So would you rest? Would you? Yes, that's what you told me.
We're a rubbish team that beat
No,
Carlton.
no.
No, but I'm
Hey,
just saying
whoa,
what
whoa,
Manny
that.
said to me. Like I'm just repeating what Manny
There,
said.
there
to me.
are. No,
Hey,
I
this
didn't
is
say.
your
I didn't say
rivalry
anything
game. Don't
rubbish.
go talking about me.
I didn't say anything rubbish. I said that a young
Okay.
side, inexperienced side, and they're playing against a team that's on top of the ladder.
Wait a sec. You sent me a message
Sorry,
saying
myself.
that if you don't pump Richmond this week because they're actually a VFL side, there is something wrong. That's what you wrote to me.
Oh, come on, Roco. You're making up stories.
Liam, I'm just telling you what he wrote. But anyway,
Put the screenshot in the chat. I want
I
to see
will.
that.
Yeah. Let's see the DMs.
Mate,
uh,
can I ask Manny one
Manny,
thing?
now
Though?
on a serious question, because you are only playing Richmond, would you, because they got a few little niggles there and that you could see him sometimes limping a little bit, would you rest someone like a Dacos this week?
Yeah, for sure.
You would. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think logically, if you feel that you have to rely on just someone like Nick Dacos, and you can't say, you know what, this week's an opportunity for us to maybe rest Nick Dacos, well then, but you pretty much think there's a problem there. You know, I mean, he's a superstar, but you need to be able to let that superstar have a bit of a rest. But then again, it all depends on how he feels. But
Well, Manny, it was this time of the year in 23 as well, was when he got injured and missed that last 4 weeks.
Yeah,
that's
then
right,
Mr.
because
Brownlow,
it was a bit soft. He was a bit
He was
soft, and he
soft that
injured
day.
himself.
He was. He got
Yeah.
collected, and he cost him the Brownlow. So that's it. That's fair enough. You rest him.
Wait,
Just
can I
rest him.
ask you one question, Manny?
Yeah.
Because I'm being reasonable. I am tipping with my head, and I do think you guys will win. What's if we get within, say, 2 goals, and it's a really close all game? You take the win, obviously, but would you be disappointed with that result if we push you right to the end?
Good question. Good question.
Well, yeah. Look, it is a good question. Of course, when you're comparing both teams, you would be disappointed. Of course you would be, because you think to yourself, potentially, next 5-6 weeks, we're preparing for finals football. So teams like Carlton teams like Richmond should be an opportunity for us to say, you know what, let's get our percentage looking better. But game of football, can be very unpredictable. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that we're going
already.
I'm not saying we're going to win this game comfortably, but I would say if we don't win this game by at least 6 goals or more, I think it'll be a disappointment for us. Yeah, definitely.
Well, I think the rivalry's on this week. I think it's on.
Yeah, I'm loving it. I can't wait for the review in a week's time.
You know what I mean? But just remember that we're the team that's got the Cox, and he loves playing against you guys.
Mate, you are the only person here who likes Cox. Come on, man.
Bro, he's great.
Fair play. We bet the game, though, mate.
No, I won't.
Why not? I thought you might have invited Liam up to the box.
Yeah, that would have been nice to get him.
Yeah, you could have eaten salmon together, and
I would have loved to, but unfortunately, I do have other family commitments.
Oh, do you?
Oh, so you're not even going to watch the game?
I potentially might not even watch the game. No.
That's disgraceful. Are you going, Liam?
I'm absolutely going, 100%.
Yeah, I knew you'd be there, man.
I will be there.
Yeah, it should be good. Should be good. All right, that was a good little.
We're cooking something here. That was a great one, and all I have to say, Manny, is we know from experience a loss to Richmond can completely unravel a team season.
Hey, if you lose to Richmond seriously this week, and as I said, then you're coming up against Brisbane, Hawthorn, Adelaide over there. Mate, remember something. Carlton was in exactly the same position last year. We were 6 points ahead from third spot, right? We were 6 points ahead and we barely made the final. So
yeah,
you're one injury away from just the whole season just falling over. And Scotty's right. Those old players are doing well, but this is where we'll see what happens to those old guys, coming to the end of the season.
Yeah. But you've got to remember something. It's these older players that we have that do carry the experience, especially when it comes to finals 100%. Football. So that's important.
If they are, on a serious note, if they are up and firing, they'll be the ones that'll probably get you through the finals.
Yeah.
Well, to cap that off, let's move on to one of our favourite segments here at Fourever Rivals. It has to be Manny's Ladder. I know we had a sneaky peek of this before, Manny, but can you just give us another run through from the top?
I suppose a little sneaky peek. Well, you got the Magpies looking pretty on top with half a game there. And, of course, Brisbane and Adelaide and Geelong, they're going to be fighting hard for the top 4. And let's not forget that, this is a really, really close top 8. But I still believe in my heart that Gold Coast are going to miss out and the Western Bulldogs will just barely scrape in. But that's just my prediction. And, of course, you've got Carlton, Essendon, and the Tigers who are sitting outside of the in the bottom part of the ladder. And I think it's 2-0-2-6 for you guys, just quietly. Even though you'd like to see your team win at least another 2-3 games before the end of the season.
It really doesn't matter. But I just looking at that ladder there quietly.
Yeah,
just looking at that ladder there quietly, right? If Collingwood, if Richmond can do the number on it, right, which they might be able to do it, and Brisbane, Adelaide, and Geelong win, you could go down to 5th this week. Could you? No, they can't because they're 56. No. Sorry, I got that wrong. So you might go down to 4th?
Yeah.
You might go down to 4th.
Yeah. And then they're playing the top 4 after that.
And then they're playing the top 4. They are too. After that, you're playing the top 4 sides.
And that's good. And that's what we need. We need to be playing the top 4 sides right now to potentially to get ourselves ready for finals football. That's what it comes down to.
That's fair enough too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking about upcoming games, we've got a few tips to do, fellas. Now, I'm a committed viewer of the Rivals. We do show the results for last week's tips first, don't we?
No, we show them last, but
I'm just checking. Coming up, Liam, take the wheel, brother.
I'm going old school today because the screen's the other way, which is good. I haven't been able to see your faces. Sorry. All right. First game, Thursday night, Hawthorn versus Carlton at the MCG. Hey, Carlton, you guys coming off a win? That's pretty good, right? But Hawthorn are a pretty good team, and they could sneak into the top 4, as you just mentioned. So Hawthorn is my tip in this one.
Yeah, don't let the Blues hoodwink you, mate. I'm not confident that the Blues will be able to get it done. Obviously, happy if they somehow can. It's Doherty's last game, Jacob Wiedering's 200th. But look, the Hawks aren't exactly the top 4 side that everyone was hyping them up to be, but they still play some good football when they want to. We did okay against them in round 2 with a mostly full strength side, whereas now, I don't know, can you really say our team's any better quality wise? I mean, we've got far more young players playing now than we did then. Hawks need to win, and they've got what it takes. And I don't see Sam Mitchell doing any gay shit like take it easy on Doc or anything. If anything, they'd want to do anything possible to spoil the party, really. In saying that, though, I'd say Hawks by 4 goals.
That's fair.
yeah, listen, I truly believe in my heart of heart here that Hawthorn will win this by 6 goals. I just can't see us winning this game. Even with, and we forgot to mention Wiedering's 200th game this week. I don't know if you mentioned that. So Wiedering.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. All right. So, so I can see. So in saying that, I'm picking Carlton because I did say that I will choose Carlton for the rest of the year, and I will choose Carlton again. And the last 2 weeks, it's done me good. So I'm going to go the Blues for my tips, but I think Hawks will win. And before you go on, mate, this comment, man, she's been on fire.
Oh, yes.
Fuck, if the Pies actually lose, not even Mason Cox's Sunnies shield them from the kind of shame. Would that be nice to see? And that's 100%, man.
Oh,
Yeah, we love you, Carls.
Yeah, Carls is an
Absolutely on fire. She's having a generational run this year, I just have to say. She's within our best and fairest for chatters, I'd say.
Oh, 100%. And she's been that good. There could be an appearance on the jumper punch from Carls. What do you reckon?
Yes.
Yes.
Amazing.
I reckon it would be amazing. So
That's
what happens if you lift. You might get onto the
that's it. That's it. And just to cap off our game, I mean, you guys talked about it last night. We know Carlton's looking at being the next St Kilda overall, but I honestly wouldn't mind it if the Blues did a little bit of trolling of the top 8 in the rest of the year if they could. I mean, it's really just Gold Coast, Gold Coast, Hawthorn, and Fremantle. I mean, if we could upset any of them, it'd be funny. Don't see it happening, but wow, you'd have a chuckle at the very least.
Let's do a St Kilda, right?
Yeah, let's just put 20 blokes behind the ball and at the very least just fuck their percentage.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Moving on.
Friday night, 2 Friday night games. First one is Essendon versus Bulldogs at Marvel Stadium. I don't know. Is there any Essendon fans out there tonight? I don't know.
I saw Pinball Pete. He made an appearance, but if Pinball Pete's not around, then the Bombers' stocks are a bit low, unfortunately.
Yeah, look, unfortunately, it is hard to support you clearly the supporters are leaving just like their players, but are all dropping out injured. They're going to struggle in this one. Bulldogs are kind of flat track bullies as well, and they play pretty good at Marvel. So, yeah, this could
and
be
they almost got him by 100
them
points
there
last
earlier,
time.
didn't they?
Yeah, it was 91 or 97
I
points
like
or
the
something.
scores.
Yeah.
No, you know what? I think Essendon plays fairly well at what is it? Is it called Etihad? Is that what they call it? Marvel Stadium.
Marvel. And by the way,
Marvel.
actually, we are celebrating 25 years of Marvel this year, and they are doing, I think it was like $2 hot dogs and $6 schooners to celebrate it all weekend. So
Really?
yeah. I just saw it before we went live. Yeah.
Wow.
But
There you go.
as I say every week, never buy food or any sort of condiments from Marvel because the scum get a cut of it
They
off
do.
every sale. So it doesn't
They
matter how
do.
cheap they are, they still get 5%. So
do.
do what I do, get your mum to make you some sandwiches.
I like it.
Oh,
Hey, how about the hot dogs in the thermos and you bring some bread rolls? I reckon that's the way to go.
I actually saw a video of somebody who did that at one of the games last week, but I don't have much self-respect, but I couldn't go that. I couldn't go
They're
that.
$12 at the G, mate. They're $12.
Yeah,
what?
but
$12? A hot dog?
yeah.
That's diabolical. Well,
Mate, a bowl of water is like $10.
It is, man. It's like
Yeah.
ridiculous. Eh?
Yeah, legit.
It's
No, you
ridiculous.
can't do it. Anyway, I'm going Western Bulldogs, right? And can I just say to all the Essendon supporters out there, and there are none because you've all disappeared, right? But all the Essendon supporters, so it is another 365 days by the end of this year, and that means that it'll be another 365 days till the next one, if you even make the final. So, hey, it's getting up to what? Is it 8,000 or 9? What's it getting up to? It's a fucking lot of days.
I know you're keeping
I know
count.
that there's a live count.
So what did you pick? Did Manny go Bulldogs or Essendon?
Yeah, no, I'm going for Bulldogs, and I'm also going for the Hawks.
Yes. I was just about to ask you that.
Yeah, I'll put you down.
And since we're also tracking back, Hawker, if you're out there, I'm calling you out.
Hawker.
Yeah, if anybody knows Hawker, we miss him. We'd love to have a chat with him next week. So maybe we'll try and track him down for that one.
Yeah, Hawks have been going all right. Get back on, mate. Get back on.
Yeah. And to answer everybody's question, it has been 7,627 days, 5 hours, 19 minutes, and 18 seconds since
What a
Essendon won a
record, mate.
final.
I'd be proud of that, I'd be proud of that. I'd be almost as proud as I don't know how many days since they got busted for the drugs, but that would be another big number. That'd be sick, man. Like, how many days since they used to sneak into that halfway house across the road to take their drugs? How many days has it been?
Oh, that was what, 2012 when they started doing that?
You've got to get it. Hey, if someone, because we've got a smart chat out there, if someone can give us a countdown on the last time that they snuck into the halfway house to take their drugs, right? That would be a sick total to get.
There we go. Oh, boy.
Next game.
Yeah, moving on, Liam.
All right, then. Next game, Friday night. It's the Battle of the Bridge. Is that what they call it? Giants in Sydney?
Yeah,
Battle
first of
the
the it's a bit of a mini rivalry round this week. So this is the first one. Also, sorry, not to interrupt, Liam, but it's also played at the same fucking time as the other game, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. We don't have to watch Essendon. Come on, man. Are you going to watch Bulldogs Essendon over the two Sydney teams?
Oh no, you know me. I've got Bulldogs in my blood, mate, and I sometimes I just can't help but if a team's going to smash one by 100 points, you can't not look away. But GWS and Sydney, it's going to be the far superior game.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good matchup. I have a feeling Sydney can get up, but I'm not confident enough to tip them. So I'll stick with the Giants to be safe.
I'm going to challenge you on that, Liam, because Giants they're far from a trustworthy side, and Sydney have beaten them at least the last 5 or 6 times straight, home and away.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to go for Sydney, and I think Sydney potentially needs to win every single game if they want to be in the chance to play some finals football. So the Swans for me, please.
Yeah, Swans for me.
Oh, nice. All right. I'm going GWS. Yeah, no, Swans are okay. GWS is starting to look good, man. So yeah, GWS for me. Sydney for an upset. Yeah, there are a few. It could. I wouldn't be surprised either way here. What's
yeah, it should be a cracker, hopefully. Now, we'll just move on to Saturday while Liam's just fixing oh my God, can't. While Liam's fixing some things, we've got our next rivalry game. The big Q.
I heard you swear there, Scotty. Just got that came through.
Sorry, Roco. It's a part of my culture.
I just find that very funny.
We have the Q clash, the Suns v Brisbane Lions at its Gold Coast home game. It's going to be pissing down, apparently. It's kind of the game we've all been waiting for all year. Now that the Suns have been showing some signs of growing up a bit. The Lions, yeah, well, yeah, that's kind of the issue. It was almost looking like a good game.
Oh, yeah.
But Brisbane, pardon?
I was going to say, how did they keep Collingwood to 0 goals in the first half, and then they just did exactly the same things themselves the week after? They were kept down to 0 goals.
Well, it makes you wonder, Roco, if Gold Coast could do that to Collingwood, and then Adelaide could do that to Gold Coast. I'd hate to see what Adelaide would do against Collingwood. So
in a couple of weeks at home.
I don't blame Manny for being deathly afraid.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Anyway, this game
here. Brisbane just they have that knack of finding form in the latter half of the year, and I'd love it if it was a close one, but they're just too classy and they play the conditions too well. It's the Lions for me.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised if the Suns, but yeah, Brisbane for me.
Yeah, the Suns for me, please.
Oh, Suns. All right, I like this. All right,
Yeah,
we'll wait for Liam to come back. I'm sure he's working furiously trying to get that going, but we'll get his tip when he comes back.
Yeah, the next rivalry game we have. What do they call this one? The Derby, the Western Derby.
This is the Derby, the Western Derby.
Now, don't get it confused with the Warragul versus Druin Western Derby. This is the other one. Freo v Eagles. What is it? West Coast Meth Coke Eagles. This is one of those games where it doesn't matter where either team is on the ladder. It seems to be at least half a fight. Just before we continue. Yep, here we go. Sorry, Liam, I had big shoes to fill there, but you probably know about this rivalry more than most, considering you come from that.
Before you do that, Liam, sorry. The game we've already gone through, Suns and Brisbane. What's your tip there?
Suns and Brisbane. I think Brisbane will get them. Brisbane. I'm not too confident in the Suns. And I tipped the Giants for the other one as well. Then for the Western Derby, that's an interesting one. I did say it last week. Fremantle could very well go out and beat Collingwood and come back the next week and lose to West Coast. But it's just really hard seeing West Coast get another win, to be honest. I think they'll get up for this game. They have to put in a better performance, but yeah, I think Freo are looking pretty good, and they can't really afford a loss, to be honest, Fremantle. So I'll stick with Freo.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Douglas for me. The Douglas for me, please.
Freo do have this bad habit of getting their supporters all up and about and then losing horribly the following week. But I mean, you have to say Dockers, surely.
Yeah.
But before we moved on, Liam, because as I said before, you're from that whole Perth. Does it envelop like the whole city? Does everyone get around about it, or is it as big as a deal as we might think?
Yeah, it is a really big deal. Perth is a footy town. Footy's our main sport. It's obviously not as big as it is over here because there's only 2 teams compared to 10. It's still a really big deal. Everyone will be chatting about the derby. Everyone's got their colours out. You go in shops. They'll all have either their blue and gold or their purple. It's a really big deal, and it's always a sellout. I know, obviously, one team's not really right in it at the moment, but it'll still get close to 60,000 people. I think it's Freo's home game, if I'm correct. So I'd say it will be pretty close to that. It'll be pretty close to full capacity. It's a really big deal over there.
Yeah, no, and they'll open it with their, what do they have, the that bloke with the guitar on the top of Optus Oval.
Actually,
light the whole place up.
Yeah.
You don't have Tim Kelly eating a fucking burger staring at you throughout the whole game.
Nah, you won't have that because that's West Coast games.
That's what I'm saying. You won't have to put up.
I think, is it?
Yeah,
it is. Yeah. Nah, Freo games are kind of cool, mainly just because they're AC/DC and they play Thunderstruck and stuff, which is
true.
Maybe the greatest song ever, but.
No, AC/DC. It's I mean, I like everything until Bon Scott died, but I think it's kind of, I don't know. It's not really my jam.
Really, are you that much of a Bon Scott? Are you that you don't think that? Really?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really rate Brian Johnson. Back in Black, Thunderstruck, nah.
Come on, Back in Black is one of the greatest albums ever.
That's some people's opinions, but I'm a Bon Scott guy. I love that era.
Mate,
I love Bon Scott. Don't get me wrong, but I think Brian Johnson could be one of the great replacements outside of David Gilmour.
Well, I'm definitely not knocking the bloke. I think why I prefer that early era more is because I just love everything Australian, and that was when they were an Australian band. After that, they were worldwide. So
what was the song they were on the back of the flatbed truck going through Melbourne? What was that?
It's a long way to the shop if you want a sausage roll.
How good was that?
My old man was actually there when they filmed that. Yeah, and he always talks about how, back in my day, AC/DC was just a pub band. You could just go watch them for free. And it's like, cheers, bro. That's sick. Yeah. And apparently they're recreating that music video some point in the next year or two. Yeah. Which is weird because I know Brian Johnson said that he would never do a Bon Scott song. So,
you can't do that. But he does Bon Scott songs, doesn't he?
Or maybe there's a couple that he won't do, but yeah.
Okay. No, look.
Hey, but actually, I know we're way off track here, but Bon Scott was a Perth man, wasn't he, as well, Liam?
Yeah, I think he was.
That's why there's such a big deal over there.
Yeah.
His site is down in his.
Because they've got and people leave all the stuff in his tombstone. Yeah.
Highway to Hell. So Perth claim AC/DC as our own.
Oh, okay.
We even had an event a couple of years ago. I couldn't make it for whatever reason, but they shut off part of the Canning Highway and had a full-on parade. They had people going down on buses, playing all their songs. All fans stepped out the street. AC/DC is massive in Perth.
Yeah,
they're massive in Australia. Alexandra here said, Roco, don't get into the music chat. Leave that for Unfiltered with Andy. And you're absolutely right. And that will be back in the off season. But you're absolutely right. We will leave that. But I think.
You see that?
There you go.
Oh, right.
Yes.
I got this the other day at the markets. So I'm a big fan.
I think I'm a big Pink Floyd person, but AC/DC to me could possibly be the greatest rock band ever, to tell you the truth. I love them. I mean, they
Yeah,
are.
when they started out, definitely.
Nah, even now.
All right, let's move on. We're getting sidetracked.
Even bands have said, I've heard like other rock bands say, if you want to rock and roll, right, they go and see AC/DC. So yeah, no, one of the great bands.
Man.
Next.
Anyway, moving on.
We may have to do like a Fourever Rivals music chat or something.
North Melbourne.
Hey, Liam, I'm going to get you onto Unfiltered one day, and we can and you can come into the studio, and we can do an Unfiltered episode.
Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
Let's make it all right. I'll get my people to speak to your people, and we'll make it happen, eh?
Oh, I like it. I like it, mate. I don't have a manager, but I'll work with myself. Maybe get an assistant. All right. I've got to do these tips. North Melbourne, Geelong. Oh, that's a pretty boring one. I'd love to see North Melbourne win because I hate Geelong, but yeah, Geelong's getting the win.
Yeah, Geelong's getting a win for me too.
Yeah, they have to. I know. Unfortunately, Geelong have to play at Marvel for like the second time of the year.
Yeah, I know.
And but yeah, no, the Roos have no chance. And Geelong can't like they're still going to finish top 4 more than likely, but they can't lose.
Yeah, Geelong for me.
Yeah. Can I just say just quickly, like, I know you say move on from the music, but I've never seen the chat so lively since we started talking about music. Everyone just went crazy. Oh, this is my favorite. Black Sabbath. Apparently, Black Sabbath is
Ozzy Osbourne died. I've never listened to Black Sabbath in my life. Like I know, like I know that song, but like I've never listened to Sabbath or like fucking Metallica and all that shit. Like, nah.
Yeah, that's next level. That's your next like hard rock. So your metal, that's your next level. But he did die today. So that's it. Yeah, we know, Carl. You're a bit late there. May got 3 weeks. We announced that. We announced that 2 hours ago, Carl.
Yeah, he might have passed away, but Sharon still be dragging his corpse around for another 2 decades, probably.
That's like Weekend at Bernie's, man. That's going to be a Weekend at Bernie's. Hey, he did a concert only like 4 or 5 months ago. He was in a chair and he sang his song.
Yeah, right.
And they had all the big names were there to see him, So, yeah, he did good effort to get out there and do it. No, he was a star, Ozzy, man. He was a star. He was definitely in a world of his own when he was at the top there.
Yeah. Oh, rest in peace, I suppose. Yeah. Oh yeah. Whoops. Moving on.
One more little music break.
Yeah,
of course. Let's hear it.
I don't know if people are interested, but I've got tickets to Oasis at the end of October.
Oh,
so I will be there. No. I want to see if people.
Wait, you got tickets? All right, that means more than one. All right. So which one are we going to? Is it the Melbourne one?
Yeah, Marble.
Yeah. All right. Look, for reasons that I won't expand upon, I won't be able to drive to the show, but we can get an Uber together if you want, Liam.
Mate, if you want to come.
Yeah, mate, I thought I was taking the other ticket.
I got the other ticket from a friend, so I can't really sell his ticket to you respectfully. Mind you, that friend is actually over in the UK now to watch them over there.
Yeah, I've seen footage from the European shows, or the ones they've done in the UK so far. It's insane.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've seen Liam solo a few times. I saw Noel open for you, and he was alright, but his solo stuff's weird. So I'm
I actually really like his solo stuff. The High Flying Birds. It shits all over Liam.
It wasn't great live. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Didn't.
Well, we're all allowed to have wrong opinions.
No one knew what was.
Yeah.
Oh, you could catch up with
only people who like, I don't know.
you could catch up with Mick Saka.
Yeah, true.
He's going.
Is he going?
Yeah.
I'll see you there, Nick. That's cool. See?
Oh,
That's cool.
bit
You've
of
got some points back.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, and well,
All right.
would you be happy to know, Liam, that after Carlton win at a home game, we played "Don't Look Back in Anger."
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, the only game I was at was the other week, and you lost. So.
Yeah, so unfortunately,
Sorry.
but
Nah, that's
all right.
That is
all right.
Come on. All right. Oh boy,
Wait
we're
a
gonna be
sec.
here
Petra
forever
can't
talking
talk
about.
Pink Floyd in Venice in '89 in one of the great concerts. I've seen that. That is fantastic. I was Petra Khan. I saw Pink Floyd here in Melbourne in '87. One of my great experiences. I love Pink Floyd. I love Pink Floyd.
Yeah, that's awesome because like I've only watched Pink Floyd on YouTube.
Yeah, well,
Same. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I love Pink Floyd. Like they are just one of the great bands.
Wow. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Next.
I think I have to get back to tipping. I'm sorry, chat. But I hope you guys like music too. Anyway, actually no, this is a good game. This is a good game. The showdown. Adelaide.
Yes, the next rivalry, yeah.
This is a good rivalry that I enjoy. I've been to one of these games as well, and it's real. Like, and the fans, they are feral as, man. I remember that, like, they were bagging out Sam Powell Pepper, who I went to TAFE with, so I was mates with.
Oh, really?
And they were saying some pretty bad things about him. I was kind of like that. I was like, should I kind of tell him like I know this guy, or should I just keep quiet? He's like, you should probably keep quiet. But anyway, I think at the moment Port are struggling. Adelaide, they're looking really good. It will be a close game. It usually is, but Adelaide takes the win.
It's also Ken Hinckley's final showdown as well.
It is too.
Yeah, but I mean, is that technically a milestone? It's like a reverse milestone. Are we able to? I don't know. Do we believe in them there? Do you think they'll pull it out for their favorite coach? Or
no, Adelaide all the way for me.
Yeah,
Adelaide for me.
Yeah. Speaking of Port Adelaide, though, what's everyone's thoughts on NXS?
Why happened there? How do you get from?
Don't you know before Port Adelaide never tear us apart? Yeah.
I thought NXS is a great Australian band, man. He was
I'm always told that I look like Michael Hutchence.
Yeah,
maybe not on the end of a doorknob, but
I was going to say you look like in his final moments. Yeah.
Yeah, when Bob Geldof had him whacked. You know that?
I'm telling you now, I'm with you there, man. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Oh my, we're getting into conspiracies as well.
Before you go on, because the questions are coming, and I've got to answer these questions. So, Saka, are you Waters or Gilmore? Look, I love Waters because he's a genius. But I've got a soft spot for Gilmore. I just love Gilmore. I'm going to say that, and this might be a bit controversial, he could be one of the greatest guitarists ever. He's an absolute genius. And but then you get, I suppose you've got in excesses, you've got AC/DC's. I've gone blank. What's his name?
Angus Young.
Angus Young. I suppose you got Angus Young, but I think Gilmore is as good, if not better, as far as a technical guitarist for sure. But anyway, there you go. That's my opinion.
Best guitarist is Eddie Van Halen. They named the band after him. You have to be pretty good for that.
That's another one. I've never listened to Van Halen in my life.
Van Halen is a superb band. Look, I can't see putting Eddie Van Halen in the same breath as Gilmore or Angus Young. Sorry.
Just go listen to Eruption. It's like 2 minutes. Just listen to that.
That's
It's
like
just
saying,
awesome. And
that's like saying, Garfunkel. What's his name? Fucking bloody. What's his name? Thing and Gar. What were their names? Simon and
Simon and
Garfunkel.
Garfunkel.
Yeah, they're the greatest duo because they named them after themselves. No, that's ridiculous.
that's a
What
good
about Bon
argument.
Jovi? They named it after him.
True.
Bon Jovi, that's right.
Anyway, next game. Did everyone go for Adelaide here? Everyone's gone for Adelaide?
Yeah, Adelaide.
Yeah,
Adelaide for me.
It's good because we're up to the big rivalry game, boys.
The biggest rivalry.
Richmond,
Yeah, Pies for me.
Yes. I did it. I had a feeling you might say that. Look, as I said, if I'm tipping with my head, I'm going to tip Collingwood. But as I did last week, which actually ended up stuffing me up a bit, trying to be strategic, I'm going to do it again. And because I'm here, I'm the Richmond supporter. I got to back my team. I'm going for Richmond. I'm tipping Richmond. Lock it in. Next week.
Good on you, Liam.
Yeah.
Scotty, I'm going to go. Listen, I would like to go Richmond. I think Collingwood might just do it by a point. But what do you reckon?
Well, I'm with the same mindset of you, Roco. It might come down to a point or under a goal or 3 points, but we do know that Collingwood have a pretty bad history of losing games under that much. I think it might be close, and if it is, I'm always going to back Richmond in that situation. So I'm on Richmond by 4 points.
I like it. I like the Richmond. I
like it, mate. I love that tip, mate. That is beautiful.
What about you, Roco?
No, I'm going to go Collingwood by a point.
Yeah.
But I'll be barracking for Richmond. I'll be barracking. And while we're here, look, I've got the questions are just coming. Look, Hendrix, I did forget about Hendrix. He probably is the greatest guitarist player, and everyone says he is the greatest. So, yeah, so there's probably a few other great guitarists. Yeah, Hendrix would be right up there as top 3 in the world, yeah.
Yeah, I might have to do like a full list, hey? Oh my gosh. I'm going to be awake all night thinking about this now.
Hey, Liam, I'm going to book you in. When do you go back?
Not for a while.
Are you here after footy season?
Yeah, I'll be here.
All right, Nick, we're going to book you in and we're going to have a full-on music session, me, you, and Andy.
Done. Absolutely.
Everyone watch out, Liam, I'm going to get all you guys one by one on Unfiltered. So, Manny, I'll get you on too. You've been on Unfiltered, haven't you, Manny?
Yeah, I have.
Yes, he has.
And so is Scotty, yeah.
Boys.
Yeah.
I'm keen to make the debut then.
Yeah, you're going to make the debut. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, let's get this last game out of the way.
Yeah. Get that over and done with.
Yeah, we'll just get that out of the way. St Kilda, Melbourne.
Fuck.
Gee, who's worse? I'm going to go for Melbourne because I think Saints are also on 5 wins and we play them in a couple of weeks. And I would like them to stay at 5 wins so we can potentially jump them. So for that reason, I'm going to tip Melbourne, but who knows? It's going to be a shit game.
Yeah, I would love nothing more, actually, than for Richmond to finish above St Kilda. It kind of annoys me that they're literally a bottom 4 side, but nobody calls them a bottom 4 side.
Yeah.
But, I just got a feeling this is one that they'll pull out of their ass.
Who?
Saints for me.
I'm with you. I'm going Saints. It's at Marvel, isn't it?
Yeah.
They play Marvel pretty right.
And Warrigal boy Alex Tauru, he's got a lot of well-deserved hype behind him. After playing on Jeremy Cameron, he might have learned a thing or two. And
interesting. All right, there you go.
Yeah,
Melbourne for me.
Melbourne. All right. This is an interesting week for tipping. You know what I'm excited about? I'm excited about showing the tipping table because
there has been a major shift in the final tally. Let's see it.
Look at this, mate. We're coming, me and Liam. We're coming hard, mate.
Damn.
He's got to get up.
I'm gonna move
Remember
around.
when Manny and Mark were like
What? No,
miles
Rocco's down
ahead?
in there. That's not good.
What's going on here?
What?
I think
that's
he's looking
wicked,
at
man.
Oh,
Am I
is he
that
looking
close
at
now?
yeah. Yeah.
So we can see it. All right. That's what's going on there. Oh, we've lost him. We've
No.
lost him. Yeah, so I got 8 again. I've got 8 in 2 weeks in a row.
I've got
Yeah,
6.
great.
Liam's got 7 2 weeks in a row, and yeah, you got 6, and Mark got 5 because I gave him the benefit of the doubt, and I'm using Scotty Tompkins tips for him this week, so you're going to be filling in for that.
If I knew that.
No, it's got to be
Yeah.
fair. It's got to be fair. I gave him Essendon last week. I made him tip against Carlton because I know that's what he would do. And then I gave him the home games and he didn't go too well. But anyway, as you can see, 101, 102, 103, and 105 with 5 rounds to go, mate.
Could it happen? Could the rivals end up? Could it be a draw, a 4-way tie?
I'm telling you. And this week, me and Manny have gone 2, 3, 4, 5 different tips. Me and you, Manny, 5 different tips. So anything could happen this week.
Yep. That's right.
I think Liam's wrote me a message. Oh fuck's sake! So I turned around to check and turned it off. I just did a big. He just did a big monologue. He reckons on his own.
Really? Wait.
Here he is.
Wait. I'll pull it back up.
Yeah,
we want to hear your thoughts, Liam.
That's crazy. Yeah. No, I was just saying I had no idea it went off. I just did this big reason about why I've dropped behind Roco and no one heard it. But I'll do it again now that people are actually listening. Last week I went strategic and I tipped against Carlton to get ahead of you guys.
Yeah.
Which obviously didn't work.
Big mistake.
But in my own league, I did tip Carlton and I finished with 8 out of 9. Collingwood let me down. Disappointing.
Yeah, I actually picked Fremantle, so I got that right. The one that got me was your game, Liam, the West Coast Richmond.
Yeah.
I told you we were going to win. But you guys, you wanted to back the old man. You said, nah, we like Jezamore now.
Yeah, we do like Jezamore, but the point is you also tipped Melbourne, so I don't even know why I'm listening to you.
I was being strategic. And I can send a screenshot. I did tip Carlton in my other league, so yeah.
But anyway, it's very close. I'm telling you, there's only a few tips between us, so this could be anyone's now, Liam. We're back in it. We're back in the race, mate.
What have we got? 5 weeks left, and there's 5 tips to get top. That's a tip a week.
And you need 5 to get top. And you are, what did you do? Liam and Manny. 1, 2, 3. You got 3 tips different this week. So, yeah, you could be anything. If you get an 8 or a 9, Liam.
Mate. You watch, mate. When we beat Collingwood, mate, it is a win for everyone.
It's a win for Australia.
Could you imagine that? Three losses in a row and Richmond get 3 wins in a row?
Oh, mate.
Yeah.
Look, Manny, I really hope the Pies lose, but I really wouldn't want to be next week.
Well, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I couldn't see it happening. Good luck to your teams. Not that it means anything. At least, as Roco pointed out, we are playing for a purpose. You guys are playing for, I don't know, what would you say? Just for a little bit of dignity, I suppose. But I wish the teams all the luck in the world.
Yeah,
But,
me too, Manny. I really hope there's no footy acts that get enacted upon any of your players and rubs them out for several weeks. But
Yeah.
Oh, wouldn't that be a shame?
Liam does have a guy who literally has nothing to lose.
I mean, he has done it in the real world, so
Yeah.
he's dangerous, boys.
Yeah.
If he gets picked, not in the team yet.
I like
Yeah.
it.
But yeah, another fantastic episode of the Rivals, fellas. Before we go, we always would like to remind everybody about our major sponsor, Sporting Globe at Northland. Don't forget to give us your expression of interest for the next TJP live, TJP catch up, and don't forget, please get your tickets for the TJP. Is this it? Hey, that wasn't it.
But that's getting ready. But the one that is it is this one here. Everyone, with the people that are watching, have a look at this.
Tickets are selling fast, fellas.
They
Please.
are selling fast. There's only so much room we've got in there, or else we've got to get more security. So yeah, so there is a limited amount. They are selling fast. Get your tickets. Go to Try Booking. The link is below. We will all be there. You got the two great stars there, and there is someone else big. We are just waiting for a message back. We did have communication with him today, so there could be another massive player coming on there. It's going to be a great night at Howlers. Get your tickets. And if you book the ticket and you go to Bo's event, which is
Remix Mania.
WrestleMania, first drink is on Bo.
Yeah,
I just like to thank Bo because Bo did that video for us. Isn't he a superstar?
He's the rising star of the Jumper Punch. I cannot say that enough. And I see the chat is going wild at the moment. Don't think that I've forgotten because, as we like to wrap up every show, Manny, make me laugh.
As much as I would love to say a joke for this evening, closing the show, just out of sheer respect for my good friend Marco, I thought I'd just basically maybe leave the joke for next week. And
You haven't got a joke.
I did have one, but I just thought I'd just leave it. But I wish your teams all the best. And Marco, as I mentioned, we think of your brother. And and good luck to your teams, gentlemen.
That's pretty good. That now you make me feel bad, right? But I won't because I know Marco will be all for this. So I have got a joke. So I'll take over your joke if you don't mind.
Not a problem.
Right joke. Here we go.
Yeah,
we gotta write that joke.
he's got good ones. He's got good ones.
Right, this one, mate. There was an Italian and Manny walking down the paddock. An Italian and a Greek walking down the paddock. And as they're walking past, they see a sheep with its head stuck inside the fence and it can't move. So the Italian thought, I'm going to take my chance here, drops his pants and goes for it. And once he's finished, he pulls up his pants and he turns to Manny and he goes, Manny, your turn. And Manny goes, great. Pulls down his pants and puts his head in the fence.
Oh, boy.
And
Roco, make me laugh.
An oldie, but a goodie. Good on you, mate.
It is an oldie, but a goodie. Yeah.
To all the sickos in the chat, thank you so much. We love you all. Thank you for being here. Boek, Roco Moro, Al R, Petra Khan, Peter V, Enzo Valentino, Robert Galicchio, everybody who joined us tonight. We cannot forget Carl, Mick, Saka. Thanks for joining us tonight. Manny, Roco, Liam, Boek, thank you for joining me. It wouldn't be a half decent show if you guys weren't here. So thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
Go Blues!
Can't wait.
Up the bangers!
Rich.